Hello, everybody. As we get started here. Welcome to some Tuesday Night Legacy. Oh, we don't have Kyra and Bryce tonight. We have Brian and Bryce. Let me change that. It's very important. We gotta get that absolutely perfectly correct. Right? This is the important part right here. You can see Brian next to me. He'll be here in a minute. We're getting pairings for tonight, so we got a little bit of a late start. I'm gonna blame it being December on that one, and we should have we have a couple of new players I think tonight, so we should have some interesting different decks. And we can get started. So, come hang out with me. Tell me how your day's going. Tell me what's going on. Who's in chat? Who's hanging out with me so far? Ready to watch some Legacy. You guys have missed Legacy, haven't you? It's been, 3 days since our qualifier on Saturday. It's been forever. There's always just magic cards hanging out where we are. It's always interesting to see. What is that? That's a Legacy card right there. Oh. What else we got? What else we got, chat? If you're not going to entertain me, I'll entertain me. Ooh, it's foil. Shambling. It's vent. This is what you came to see, right? Ooh, Vintage All-Star. This is why you're tuning in right here. This is captivating, right? You get to look at magic cards. You never know which one it's going to be next. As I see what else there is in front of me. Ooh, what's this whole box of cards right here? Ooh, this card. This is a notorious magic card right here. This thing. Just look. Focus not on me, on the card. Can you see it? It's not focusing. Notorious. Yeah. I didn't even know this card existed. So I'm still waiting here, but we started a little late, so I thought I'd hang out with you guys while we get started. And we'll get some magic going for you in just a minute here. There we go. Pairings are up. And maybe they're even sitting down. Maybe not yet. Chat is working. You can talk to me if you want to. In the meantime, I'll just keep talking to myself over here.
Yeah, it's Zach and Corey and Vivian talking.
Whoa, we actually have players and they're going to play Magic?
Players, yep. We got 8 players.
We're already live and streaming.
Oh, cool.
To the masses.
You've been telling people things about stuff?
No, just myself.
Okay.
Just talking to myself. It's great fun.
Talking to yourself.
All right, I'm going to go live here now.
Out loud? Okay, go live right there. And then Corey and Vivi will remain on stream in their seats, so we'll be able to watch the same player throughout the evening.
Cool.
And eventually they'll probably play against each other, which will be interesting, but at least to start, we get to see something cool. So we've got Stockton on our left in this, and then Vivi on our right.
What is Stockton playing, do you know?
He is on Blue-Black Death Shadow.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Vivi is playing Eldrazi Post with 4 Leyline of the Void that she just borrowed from me.
That's rude.
Yeah. Especially because Stockton's not playing a silly deck that he borrowed from someone else this week.
All right, we're going to show this match first, and I'll give you a nice look. Look, actual magic instead of just me talking to you guys.
And we've got Corey on our left on that one, and then Zach on our right. And Corey's on Miracles with Disrupt. And then Zach is borrowing a deck today. So I think it's Ant. It's either Ant or something else. And they have both elected to use apps to keep track of their life totals because they hate the flip things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, if we just keep the same people on there, like you can just keep your phone out and just use it. And they're like, and I'm like, okay, do that.
Perfect. Excellent.
So that's our life right now. Hello. Look at our Jorgensen and how many bits he has given us, and how you're in second place by exactly 3,000 bits.
Solidly in second place
by 3,000 bits.
It's weird too because I do like 37 bits at a time or something.
Yeah,
random.
And it's like an
He
even number.
matched it somehow just to be.
Yeah, I think so. And so that's why I put it on the all time instead of just the daily or the weekly or whatever, so we could just kind of watch. Because I'm not even in third place. Alton's in third place, which is kind of interesting.
Well, while these guys shuffle up, what is new in Legacy? Is anything new? Does Legacy change?
So I've been listening to a couple of podcasts recently. I mean, Nate was talking about his Dega experience on Eternal Nurdles, and that was really cool.
Yeah, so he played that in the one, or not the 1K, the qualifier, right, on Saturday.
The Heroes League qualifier.
And it was an interesting.
Good evening. But I'm not sure which ladies you're referring to. There aren't that many that play.
There's
watching the stream.
Playing right now.
I said there aren't that many. I didn't say there aren't any.
Oh, that's true.
Vivi is playing right now, and there aren't that many that come in the stream. But like, this may not be the best place for you to be finding ladies. That's all I'm trying to say. Other new things in Legacy. I know that the Dead format's really been trying to figure out a bug list that works. I haven't seen that. I just played against. What was the deck that I haven't seen in a minute, and then I just played against it. Alurin we had on Saturday. That was kind of interesting because that hasn't been around for a minute. Apparently, Goblins is a force to be reckoned with in Europe. It's top 8ing like every event.
I haven't seen that.
In one of the top 8s, 2 of the decks were Goblins, and one of them was Goblin Food Chain, like straight out of 2011.
Whoa.
But with Squee the Eternal.
Yeah.
Or Squee the Immortal, or whatever he is.
The Squee Chain.
Food Chain and Alurin are bug decks that exist. I know.
You know how?
You know how I know that Food Chain exists? Because I'm one of the guys that keeps putting it on MTGO results.
Patrick, it's Patrick, right? Chapin. He, you know how he commentated? What is a year ago now, or 6 months ago?
Like
He said Food Chain is an Alurin deck for people that don't have the time. I don't have the time to do this combo. This is the same thing otherwise. That was his take.
Except Alurin is a Food Chain deck for people who want to spend 1 extra mana and have a worse combo.
Right. I mean, he said it, so it must be real.
Yeah, you're right. They're completely different decks. I've never played Alurin, but Alurin is one of the reasons I started looking at Food Chain. But Food Chain I started playing because of the sponsor of the Beijing tournament that's going on next weekend, Wang Haobo. He played Food Chain against me when I was playing Shardless Bug at GP Seattle in 2015, and that's why I play Food Chain.
Right on. Hey, look, we're actually playing Magic.
Yeah, for sure.
Stockton gets, it looks like he took a mulligan, and he gets to play first.
Yeah.
And he goes and gets a card that we can't see.
That's a Water Graves.
It's an Expedition Water Graves. Glare is what it is.
There's something wrong with these lights on the side of the table that they're angled improperly. Because the last time we had it, we were able to kind of keep up. So I gotta put something down to knock the light up so it works.
Oh, interesting. So it's just the angle of the diffuser coming in.
Yeah.
That's all right. We like watching glare here.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I mean, it's kind of like when we had the Under the Sea tournament. Alurin can kill through hate where Food Chain kind of just dies. I want to say that Food Chain is stronger against hate because it's got a better alternative game plan. Like, your creatures are actually better.
You're not biased at all.
I mean, Food Chain dies to less hate than Alurin does.
Thoughtseize takes a
because the same hate that stops Food Chain stops Alurin.
Is that correct? Taking a Reshaper with a Thoughtseize instead of that Thought-Knot Seer?
I would take the Thought-Knot Seer. Maybe he has another Thoughtseize for this, honestly. But like, the taking the Matter Reshaper means that it's a kind of a slower burn. Like, Vivi has to go a little bit longer to be able to get stuff into play.
Losing more life.
Cavern Harpy is kind of good, but three different things can stop Cavern Harpy, where only one thing can stop actual Food Chain.
So Stockton probably was digging for a Dash out of there. Didn't find one, but he did find a Reanimate, which is kind of cute. it can do something.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, I mean, if either of them get an Urborg into play, which it looks like Vivi has an Urborg in her hand, then these Swamp Walk 3/4s can get through. What stops Harpy? Pithing Needle, Sorcerer's Spyglass, Phyrexian Revoker all stop Harpy. Because if you can't bounce it by paying life, you can't really get your combo going.
So Stockton's thinking about days. There's the days. Makes sense. He's got a Force of Will for the...
But it also gets stopped by Torpor Orb and... what's the... It's Kotley Honor Guard.
Which are both the heavily played cards.
If you're playing Manifest Destiny, if you're literally HC Fox, they're heavily played cards.
Stockton's dealt himself 11 points of damage.
Hey, he's in range of putting down a Death Shadow that's actually kind of big.
Is he going to reanimate, or is he going to brainstorm, or is he going to force pitch brainstorm on this Thought-Knot Seer?
Carrion Lich, you obviously haven't played against HC Fox.
There's one person.
There's literally one person that plays the deck, and there's maybe 2 people in the world that own the deck, and I'm the other one, and I sold out most of it.
All right, there goes Force of Will, pitching brainstorm. His only other blue card. And here's a no, not reanimate. Okay, so he just drew Thoughtseize. There's only one card in Vivi's hand that he doesn't know about.
What do you think it is? Well, we'll see.
We'll find out.
But guess.
It's
a Karn.
Success. That would have been problematic.
Great success.
Stockton's down to 6 and has dealt with every threat possible here.
So he plays. He's playing a Watery Grave, and he's deciding if he's going to go down to 4.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to do that.
Because that puts him right in range of a really nasty Reality Smasher. But if he can get a creature into play, which he might be able to put a Grimag Angler down, that puts massive clock on Vivi.
Yeah, I think you'd rather stay at 6, so you could take 1 hit.
I would agree with that. It looks like she must have drawn a land. She's running into the unfortunate thing that happens exactly right now when we reanimate a Thought-Knot Seer from our opponent.
That doesn't do what you want it to, though, does it?
That is very mediocre.
Isn't the Matter Reshaper better here?
I would say it is, because it's likely to turn over like business.
The exile thing is a cast trigger, so you don't get that.
Yeah.
Whereas the Matter Reshaper, if it, I guess
no, the exiles enters the battlefield, and if it dies, but I think he may be playing around an Ugin potentially. Like this could be playing around an Ugin because Vivi can't get rid of the Thought-Knot Seer with an Ugin. 1/2. Chalice on 1. That is really bad for Stockton.
Yeah, so anything at all Vivi draws is live. And
oh yeah, Ugin just kills Stockton. That's right. But
Stockton just can't do anything now.
Yeah.
He can hope that he can get in lots of attacks.
Yeah, and then no Reality Smasher comes in at any point. Oh jeez. Yeah, that was a mistake on Stockton's part by attacking, because Vivi's now just going to grab a Reality Smasher. Yeah. Come on, Stockton. Don't you know what Ugin does? Or Eye of Ugin? Or just get Ulamog. I mean, that works too.
Sure. It really doesn't matter what Vivi chose there. Yeah,
the game's over. I can't think of a thing that Stockton has that can stop that. So, congratulations, Vivi. You got game 1. We'll sit around and watch, I guess.
We'll see what Vivi does with this cast trigger.
Spaghetti monsters.
Ulamog! In a movie frame altar.
I really like that altar. That Klug altar.
Did you see what it ended up selling for?
What, it was like 1 point something?
I saw, when it was over $1,000.
Like 1.8K or something.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Jeez. It was a beautiful altar.
Yeah, when you do something new and original and then can't be duplicated.
Doing it for charity and all that sort of thing, right? I mean,
I'm sure. Was it for charity?
Yeah, it's for cool. It was a charity thing that he was doing.
That makes it makes more sense why it would jump up so much. All right, I'm going to call this one with because you're right. There's nothing. We're gonna jump over to our other match.
Yeah, what can Stockton do when he's at 1?
He can die.
Yeah, like he doesn't have anything in his deck that can deal with those guys.
Okay.
He doesn't play like Murderous Cut or anything.
Zach is definitely not playing Storm. I'm sorry. Zach is playing some Turbo Depths.
He is playing Turbo Depths. Very interesting.
Turbo. That's he likes to go down. Nope. 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 Versus Miracles. There you go.
So this is, I think Storm is probably a better matchup than Turbodeps is, because Turbodeps you're kind of really relying on one thing to happen, and
Better matchup for who?
I think it's a better matchup for Corey.
He'd rather see Storm than Turbodeps.
He'd rather see Turbodeps than Storm.
Oh, okay.
I think, because if you can keep, because you've got Jace and Swords to Plowshares and Back to Basics and all sorts of things like that, so you can really kind of like interfere with what Turbodeps is trying to do, and it's kind of obvious from how this match is going, right? How slow it's being.
Snapcaster on a Brainstorm. This is in response to a duress from Zach.
Is there an Urborg in play that I can't see?
I don't know what this card is underneath the duress.
It's probably an Urborg.
It tapped for black, whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, I just see that Corey's Flooded Strand is tapped for something.
Yeah, that makes sense then. All right, so here's the duress.
And it shows Force of Will, Portent. And a Containment Priest in his hand. So I guess we're post-sideboard.
Ooh.
So this must be a win for Zach round, game one.
We'll pretend to know.
Yeah, boys. Batosai, what's up? It's kind of like Storm with none of the same cards.
It's kind of trying to win quickly on like turn 3 or 4 every time. Yeah.
What does Containment Priest do?
It contains things, of course. I will show you.
I mean, for both Food Chain and Allurin players, Containment Priest literally means nothing. Because...
So it doesn't do anything because it doesn't affect your deck?
It doesn't affect our deck, so it doesn't matter. You don't need to know what it does.
See, Brian's not biased.
Doesn't affect either of the enchantment-based bug decks.
There it is.
If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. It doesn't affect depths either.
So why is it?
I don't know.
Did he bring it in?
I don't know. Maybe to build a clock.
Is it not? Maybe it's a terminus. Maybe it's not a.
Or maybe it's a collective brutality or a collective council's judgment. Whatever that one is.
It's a terminus. I don't think it.
Being sick is kind of annoying, Batosai. Like, I understand. I actually just got diagnosed with seasonal affective disorder today. So
you're affected by the seasons? Like
yes.
When you go outside, it's cold, and you're like,
when seasons change specifically. So it's a form of depression.
I'm sorry, I'm making fun of your disorder.
Yeah, you are. But yeah, no, I got diagnosed with that today, so I can understand why being sick sucks.
So it's too much fun. Sorry.
No. Have fun at my expense.
Well, who diagnosed you? Did you get yelled at? Some guy on the street? Hey, you're sad. You've got seasonal disruptive disorder.
Trump yelled. Twitter yelled at me. SAD, and I'm like, oh, okay. I've got seasonal affective disorder.
Okay, that makes sense. Here's a Hex Mage.
So this is kind of interesting because now he has 2 different ways to activate his 2020.
Yeah.
But he has to be able to activate his 2020 by tapping out Corey somehow or making sure that he has no white source.
And no ability to potentially terminus if we're in game 1.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I want to say this is game 2, honestly.
We don't. So he could terminus like off a Brainstorm or something like that after Zach has done it end of turn.
I don't know Carrion Lich. I don't know why it would be a Containment Priest, but to me that's what the art looked like. It could be a Council's Judgment. I could be wrong.
It's something else. It's not a Containment.
Why would you have a... Well, I guess Council's Judgment main deck. Whatever. Your mom's not main deck. Your mom's not a Containment Priest.
Okay, so I'll forget. So you know what my favorite dual land is to see my opponent play first? Game 1 in the dark.
Badlands.
No, it's a plateau.
Okay.
If your opponent plays a plateau, do you know why though? It's not because they're probably playing a mediocre deck.
Yeah, you're right. See, Carrion Lich is right. It would have been revealed to the duress if it was a Council's Judgment. If it's not a Council's Judgment, I mean, if it's buried under his lands as a white card and it has this black border on the side, like so.
Okay, but why do you want to see a plateau first as the first card when you're sitting down against your opponent?
because no deck plays Plateau.
Because it's the highest form of flattery. That's why it's a compliment when your opponent plays a Plateau. That's it, chat. That's all I got.
Isn't it a thespian stage? Because then they have to.
Not true. Not true.
A thespian stage because imitation is the purest form of flattery. A thespian stage on a plateau. On a plateau. We got it.
Like a Vesuva on a. No.
Yeah. I know a deck that plays 2 to 3 plateaus. There are a couple. So Parfait is one of them.
Red White Painter.
Yeah, Red White Painter. I actually bought a plateau from a Red White Painter player. There are some Red White Death and Taxes players.
So wait. You bought a plateau from a Red White as if it like shows that they actually existed at one point.
Yes.
that was like proof that
he's a Goblins player that also owned Red White Painter because he bought it from someone, and it had an unlimited plateau in it that I'm actually thinking about getting rid of because I don't care about plateaus. You're a Painter player. Okay.
Hey, there's 20 life for you. Have some 20 life.
Okay.
Go to 39. This is all in response to this Sylvan Safekeeper. Is that what's happening here?
I think so, and we can see the crop rotation in his hand, and so like this has to be a Lotus Petal. Get rid of your forest for a get rid of your forest for a Sagiri Step. Like do it. Like it has to be, right?
Unless he doesn't know if that's in his deck because he's borrowing this deck.
Zach knows it's in the deck.
Probably.
No one's playing this deck without a Sagiri Step. There's no way. You don't play this deck to not play Sagiri Step. Maybe you do.
Yeah, and he's got the.
Maybe you want to work on the herd vaccination or whatever it is.
Sylvan Scrying as a backup, right? So he can do that next turn anyway.
There's a. Oh yeah, there are Force of Wills in Corey's hand. I forgot about that.
Wow. Is there?
Yes.
Oh.
But I guess. I mean, you're still gonna.
Haha! You got me.
Okay. Decisions have been made. Because was the Portent the one that was taken out? Okay, it took the Portent.
And then the Safekeeper gets forced, and then he's just gonna crack map like this. He's gonna very purposefully tap it, which is what I do when I use a map. I take the map and I'm reading it, and then I turn it sideways so that it does what I want it to.
And it shows you where shows you where the
takes me
where
to the
dark
land
depths are.
that I want to go to.
Okay.
Yep.
It's gonna show you the land of the dark depths.
And then the map is no longer usable anymore. It's used up, so I just throw it away to the graveyard.
Okay.
That's
yeah, because now you know where it is.
It sucks though, because
you know where the one
my map is on my phone, and so I just go through phones like crazy now.
I actually just got both of my screens replaced for my phones because I trashed.
Same thing. You just keep trashing your map.
Yeah, the one time I decided to start playing with expedition maps, it got out of hand, guys.
Yep.
Got super out of hand.
It's a problem.
Got to be careful.
Yeah. They need to make a map that doesn't tap, and then you can just use it each. Maybe tapping's okay. It's the sacrifice part.
Yeah. Except there's like even the renegade map you have to. So even if it's even if it's running away, because it's a renegade.
Is that what renegade maps do?
Well, you know the renegade rallier exists, right? What's he rallying? He's rallying all the maps that are running away. That are being sacrificed.
I didn't know the flavor there.
Exactly.
Hey, look, it was a mentor all along. It wasn't a
monastery
containment.
mentor.
It wasn't a containment priest.
Hello, Jaden.
Is the mentor like?
Why are there 2 mentors in play? What is this madness?
Is he from Scotland? Is that why?
I'm from Scotland. Oh look, Vomit.
Yeah, 2 cards.
Yeah, mentor Vomit. Yeah,
at the same time. They went on the stack together.
I mean, Corey's hand is out, right?
Yep.
Corey doesn't have a hand. So.
Haha, Lotus Petal. Got it.
I really want this to be, like, I think you make the 2020. Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Haha, Ponder.
He's thinking.
No. Play to ponder. Emotes are apparently tiny URLs. Why is that? They show up in the Twitch chat, but the restream chat that we have here does not like those for some reason. Sorry.
Yeah, the restream chat doesn't love those. But on Twitch, you can definitely see vomit.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually, so Restream just did something where in the web app you can actually have it so that it sends all the chats to all of them, so you can get it in whichever one you're in. So we should probably start looking at that.
And then never actually implement it. We'll just look at it. That's a good idea. I like where your head.
Implementation's the worst.
None of those cards say it doesn't die.
Maybe we implement it when we go to, or when we do our 24-hour stream at the end of the month.
And then we can put it in emote only mode.
Yeah. So only emotes.
For when chat gets super salty, because that happens to us all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. So Corey,
I know that chat gets super salty, but I don't think it's all the time.
Corey didn't shuffle. Did he find something that actually plays?
I don't know, but he's swinging in.
He's swing for less than 37. That's what that is.
Zach's gonna just take it because okay. And a turn, he's gonna make it 20-20, and be like, "Okay, like, come at me, bro."
This is an RK Post 2020. Is that what that is?
It is an RK Post 2020.
Ha! I've got
accumulated knowledge. Okay.
He's prowess. Prowess. Hey, look what he did there. Everybody, Terminus, off the ponder. Cute.
That's really annoying because this crop rotation now doesn't do anything against that.
Nope.
But he does have a Sylvan Scrying as a backup.
Let's do it again. Yay. One more time. Turbo Redepths. That's what this is called. Where you just turbo depths and then you depths again and then one more depths.
It's not very turbo at this point.
Some more depths.
It's not turbo at all.
Keep going deeper.
Zero turbo. None of these cards say doesn't die.
That's not true. Two of them specifically together said exactly doesn't die.
Okay.
And Zach's doing the calculations, the mathematical prowess.
He's got your lightning bolt thing like going across
combinations
his face.
Of whoa. He sacks the lotus petals for the scrying.
I don't think it would have done that, but okay. Yeah, damn your lightning.
But why did we do this? Is it so we can crop rotate a? Can we do it here? We can't do it, can we? Can we crop rotate and go off right now? We can, can't we?
I think so.
Yeah, look at this. You thought it wasn't turbo depths. It's all happening at practically instant speed, end of turn. It's about as fast as it gets.
It's not end of turn. This is his turn. So you have the Sylvan Scrying on his turn. So he may be passing it back and kind of seeing what Corey does.
I guess so. Because that's a sorcery.
Yeah, because
this isn't turbo depths.
This
is super slow main phase depths.
Super main phase depths. Corey's shuffling, so he doesn't know what the bidness is. But Zach does have another. He can make another man or woman because that's what Merit Lage is.
It's a monster.
Monster, right? A female monster.
It's a large monstrosity.
Yep. That will be playable in draft as of this Friday.
It's mythic.
It's still playable.
Yeah, so you need a mythic and a rare.
Yeah, it's still playable.
Yeah.
And sealed. It'll be playable and sealed. I totally want someone to turbo depths it out. Play like Reanimator depths in our sealed PPTQ on Saturday. That would be really cool. Like, I'd be a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna play in that?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I'm gonna play a PTQ on Friday in Portland.
That's silly. It's far away. How are you gonna get back in time for the PPTQ here on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm not gonna be back in time for the PPTQ here. I'm gonna be gone in Portland, buying vintage cards.
What do you need for vintage?
Paying for my vintage cards is what I should say.
The ones you already have?
Yeah. The person I worked with was like, yeah, like I would rather have cash when I'm in the United States than when you're over here in Singapore. And I'm like, cool. It's easier for me too.
So he taps to add mana, and then crop rotation gets counter.
Oh my goodness! And he got rid of. I want to say getting rid of the airboard was the wrong one, except he's got one in his hand. Well, I would play this Pithing Needle on Jace the Mind Sculptor.
I would name Counterspell because it's obviously the card that hurts you the most right here.
You're right. Except it's not a permanent.
Oh, I'm
pretty sure you have to name a. Oh no, I guess you can name Abandon Hope, which is not a permanent.
Yeah, you can name a card. Zach missed an opportunity to tick down his Dark Depths, which probably will not matter at all.
Isn't it 2 in tapping the Dark Depths itself?
Yeah. So
or is it 3 in tapping the Dark Depths itself?
I think it's 2 in tap.
Yeah, you should be ticking it down. So it's the not so turbo depths. Spend your 30 mana to.
There we go. Oh, he named the wrong one. You said Jace. The one of Teferi in Corey's deck comes down.
Yeah, got him.
And
doesn't even matter. Pretty sure what's just 3.
Now we have to look at a card. Dark Depths. 3, just 3, not 3 in tap. So you can do
not
it
2
with
in tap.
Urborg because it taps roots.
I really like this new Dark Depths art.
You like that? You just used a snow-covered forest to play Duress.
Solid.
Yeah.
Well done, sir. Yeah, this Teferi is going to take over the game. Like, good night. Good night and good luck.
All right. How does Teferi win here?
Teferi's ultimate is whenever you draw a card, exile a permanent.
Who knows what this card does? This is like a standard card. Nobody plays this thing, do they?
Except in Legacy, where all sorts of people play it.
It's a hero. You thought it was just a game about villains, but no, there's a hero too.
Yeah, and a Monastery Mentor's in play. Like, that's another thing that just happened.
Who's gonna win the race? Teferi at 6 or Mentor?
No. I think that Teferi at 6 wins the race.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Teferi at 6 doesn't technically win the game because you're just exiling your opponent's stuff.
Right.
Mentor actually wins the game. So I think this one's over. The guy with 6 cards in hand, yeah.
He doesn't have any cards in his hand. Look, he's got
neither of them.
Hand. He's holding his hand out. He's got a staff in one hand and just an empty hand.
Yeah, Teferi's just jamming it.
Oh, Duress again. Ooh.
And a crop rotation.
Okay. We have a game again.
Yeah, this is like not over.
It was last turn.
It is basically because Teferi's -3 is pretty decent.
Well, he can crop rotate end of turn, right?
With the Teferi trigger on the stack.
Yeah.
So, like, he Duresses here, and Corey's just gonna be like, I've got all these, and then, yeah. Just a counterspell.
But he named it with Pithing Needle, so.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
That doesn't do anything.
But he gets a monk. It's the beginning of the end.
Duress got countered on tap. Still doesn't have 27 damage.
Not yet, but
go away.
This could very easily happen. I mean, Teferi just hit 8.
Ticks up, draws a card. Doesn't Zach just win right here, though?
Doesn't Zach just win right here with what?
With a Thespian Sage.
Yeah, the crop rotation has to resolve.
Yeah. So if Corey had no cards in hand, doesn't he win right here?
Corey had no cards in hand.
He's got to disrupt.
Zach would, but Zach has 1 mana available, so he gets through the disrupt. Corey has to have another.
He floated one. He floated 1 mana, so he's got 1 floating and an Urborg to tap. So he's got 2 mana available.
Yeah. Okay.
Disrupt. Counterspell unless you pay 1 and draw a card.
Yeah, so Zach pays 1.
Mm-hmm.
With the
He's going to think about it first. Maybe he doesn't want to pay 1. Maybe he would like to not win.
I mean, he could just be giving up, like, getting 3 for 1.
All right. He pays 1. Spell resolves. Corey finds a Force of Will on the top.
Of course. Of course, that's what the disrupt finds him.
Yeah.
This commentary is great and all, but I still don't know what Legacy is. It's the greatest format.
Now you know.
Okay, GVK.
Problem solved.
GKV.
His name is Crimson Viper. You misread that.
Oh, Crimson. I did. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Oh, gee, Crimson Viper.
So now Zach lost. There we go. Look, somebody won.
Got him.
Turbo Depths went.
It kind of
down.
turboed.
Turbo Depths went down. Is that? If Turbo Depths goes up, does it mean it lost?
Turbo Depths says fall. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But we should check the other game.
How deep can it go?
How deep is your love?
Hey, look, Magic's being played over here too.
Yeah.
So we know Vivi won game 1. We're probably in game 3 here.
This could be a game 2. You love this channel? It is the greatest channel. It is the FGC.
The Legacy channel.
Yeah.
The greatest format channel.
Yeah, the greatest format channel.
Huh.
Format greatest channel. So we must be French. Because we alternated.
So
format the greatest channel.
Where are we? Vivi's all the way down to 5, and she just attacked to bring Stockton down to 4, and then she's going to gain some life.
Okay.
To attempt to survive. That was kind of a weird play.
Ooh.
She survived.
Well, it doesn't flip.
Delver doesn't flip. Interesting.
Strong magics.
Okay.
Gain life off of.
I guess the thought process there is if you don't attack, you're not presenting a way to win because Delver would eventually flip and beat you if you leave Smash her back.
Okay. 2 mana.
Does anything actually cost 2 in this deck?
I do not know. The commentators are the greatest. Look, I'm voting you guys for president come 2020. You can. Are you old enough to be president now?
How old do you have to be?
35.
I'm old enough to be president.
You're old enough to be
amazing.
president. You can vote for him.
That's pretty ridiculous.
I am not yet 30. I don't know if I can become vice president while I'm below 35.
See, that's one of those things that I've never cared to actually know because it doesn't matter.
But you can't vote for me for president, but you can vote for Bryce. I think Bryce would be an excellent president because he'd be in like climate change, of course. He'd be like, guess what, guys? And have some random pun, and everyone would just stop. Angela Merkel, even though she'd be out of politics by the time he became president. It's 35 to be president. Pretty sure, but you can find the actual thing in the Constitution that says whichever it is.
So if Vivi draws just about anything other than an Ancient Tomb, she has a chance here. Ratchet Bomb ticks up.
35 years of age, and you have to be a resident of the United States for 14 years and natural born citizen. So I'm very right.
You can. Please do.
You can vote for us.
This is important.
You can vote for us, but only one of us can become president.
What we should do is we should host an award show for ourselves, and then everybody can vote for who they want to win.
So we're hosting an award show for ourselves, and everyone can vote. People like for which one of the two of us can win.
Well, we could throw Kyre and Terry.
Okay, and Stockton and Kurt and Zach and Corey and whoever.
People on the internet like voting for things for awards,
even if it doesn't matter.
Yeah, even if they just came up with them on the fly.
So basically,
can you believe these Delver still haven't flipped? I can't believe it. You guys can't believe it.
I am surprised that they haven't flipped, and that somehow they've gotten through. Or they landed before this Chalice got down.
Ratchet Bomb may be incorrectly ticked up there, but I understand they go for the monoliths, right? Yeah, attacking with... So this is kind of weird. If the Delvers flip, then Stockton wins. If they don't, then they both should have attacked.
You're surprised that there are no spaghetti monsters? I agree. People don't like voting, but it doesn't matter.
People
don't like voting.
People don't like voting when the system's so rigged that their vote doesn't matter because of gerrymandering. Tap 2 Ancient Tombs for...
Okay, you have to be 35 to be president or vice president. 30 for senator, so I cannot be a senator either, but I can be a representative of the United States at 20. I'm above 25.
This still doesn't matter.
But yeah, no, the most recent thing in Utah is how like we voted to pass marijuana legalization, and the governor and House and Senate are like, ha, you guys voted for this, but we're like not going to give you anything.
The Delvers still don't flip. If Stockton had attacked with both Delvers last turn, he would have just won. Instead, he just blows up all of the things that Vivi needs to cast things.
Yeah. I'm out though. You have research to do and two papers to write. Have a good night. What's the research on? What are the two papers to write? Let me help you, because I actually have a paper to finish up. Yeah,
it's the answer is 35 years old.
Yeah,
come on.
And I just pretty sure that is under a Supreme Court case currently. Oh, the Utah thing, the Utah legalization. I don't think it's.
I don't think it's close to.
It's going anywhere. It may be going somewhere, but. Voting does matter. The power of your vote differs, but it still matters.
Sure.
Yes. Well, and we should have like 1,400 delegates in, or like 14,000 delegates in the House of Representatives right now. That's why it's a representative democracy. Yeah.
Thought Nuts here is the same thing as voting, because there's only so many ways you can metaphor to dumb things, guys.
Is it though? It's
hey, they flipped over!
They flipped! Woohoo! We won the game!
We won the game!
We did it!
Yay! Stockton went to
and literally Vivi is like, cool, I can't get any creatures ever. Not once.
All right.
Not one time.
Here's our other match. We know Corey won a game. It looks
I think they sideboarded it for the first time. So yeah, this must be game 2. You don't know what the other paper is about. Okay, so you should probably do some research on what the other paper is about. But the research is about mass killings becoming more and more events because of social media. So you think, so the premise is that mass killings and shootings and whatnot are becoming almost inevitable because of social media, because people are kind of publicizing it where they didn't used to be publicized.
You now have
I mean, that seems like confirmation bias.
Legitimate source that has a opinion that you can use for your paper.
I could become a published author one day.
I heard this on the internet, and it was documented there.
Well, I think before you put that sentence in your paper, you should definitely think about it. Be a little less lazy.
What you do is you add some ums.
But first, watch us.
And
watch Legacy happen. The ways off from 30 men. It needs a bold start.
Whoa!
You're
it's
right.
an HC Fox sighting.
Weren't we just talking about how he's the only one that plays Torpor Orb in
Legacy? I never
Legacy?
mentioned HC Fox ever.
We never talk about him. Hey, you're not. I heard that you're not coming out for my birthday, Fox. Do I have to like come to you or something? Are you going to be at GP Portland this weekend? Like, what's going on? Because I need to see your face. Yeah, truly, anyone with enough money can be a published author. You don't even need money to be a published author. You can put your stuff on Amazon pretty easily.
I posted something on Facebook the other day. Published author.
Truly, I've actually been published. I'm a published journalist technically. I wrote for a Warhammer website.
That doesn't count.
No free time until July. Jeez. Okay, that's insane.
It's like he's actually going to school for something. And
yeah, it's like he's
deadlines
actually,
and
I mean, I'm going to school for something, but I'm here. Like, it's almost the same.
Hey, look, that millstone is being disenchanted, guys. I only read
millstone
that came from
the Sylvan Library.
No, it's a millstone that's being disenchanted.
Oh, the art is.
I only eat bread that's been milled with a enchanted millstone, so it makes sense why you would need to disenchant one. Make it just do its normal millstoning. Sorry, everywhere. Hey, it's a dress.
Since social media sites act like publishers, they should be considered to be publishers.
I think
somewhat similar. Channel Confidant, thanks for the follow.
Swords to Plowshares or the Snapcaster Mage here. There's two things that Zach has to deal with.
So it's a duress, so it has to be the Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah, fine.
If he has a Thoughtseize, he can get rid of the Snapcaster Mage. But it looks like that's a situation.
That's a lot of words, and there's too many M's in most of the letters, so I can't actually read what that says.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, because of the M's.
Yep, there's too many of them.
Definitely take AK, send the message.
Yep.
You're right, Fox. That is the message to be sent. I'm so excited for the end of this year. Just my birthday, like
Because
a big legacy tournament.
There's a big legacy tournament. Yeah.
You know, I get to stream with both you and Kyer that weekend, and then do the 24-hour stream. And Jorgensen will be here. That'll be so exciting.
Mostly
I don't
because
know why
the
he's not
attack
attacking
doesn't
with his
matter.
2-1.
I don't think it matters. Zach's not gonna. He wants to attack with a 20-point.
It's
He wants
still
to win.
pressure. It's still pressure.
Not really.
Yeah.
Doesn't do anything.
Can we boost the volume a little bit for Kerpami's 17?
We can
79?
pretend we did.
Yeah, it looks like we need to. So you can just go to the settings and advanced, or yeah, hit that mic aux up to like 400. 350.
How about that?
It's probably a lot.
Why was
louder.
it so low?
I don't know what happened.
Who changed it down to?
You were the last one to
How does
change
that
it.
sound now?
Sorry, I'm sorry that no one said anything.
We
Before.
we were doing a whisper stream earlier. That's why.
Wait, it was an ASMR stream. I do think
You're actually gonna read that wall text?
some correlation between social media and math variables.
Ah, he attacked. Told you it mattered. Really important. It was a delay attack. The first time. It
Loud
made...
as hell.
Whoa.
Is what.
Perfect.
Sorry, Carrie and Lich. I'm glad that we are now at a reasonable volume so people can turn it down on their computers. We probably blew out a couple earbuds.
So that's why whenever we say "How is it now," we say it loudly as the first thing, just to really get a test.
See, now he's starting the attacks, which is putting some pressure on.
This is fun. We get a terminus on Corey's turn. This sets up. Zach gets to choose. Does he make a 20/20 and have it get?
He does have mixed AKs and mixed counter spells. If you haven't noticed, Corey has a very mixed deck.
Boo. So this sets up a Snapcaster Mage that Corey can use, right?
Yes.
And kill the 20/20, exile the 20/20.
Yes.
If Zach pulls the trigger right now.
So Zach's not going to pull the trigger because then the terminus just the 20/20. I mean, he could pull the trigger with the Thespian stage, but he's going to wait till end of turn for that. I'm having the trouble controlling the volume of my voice. I don't usually have trouble controlling the volume of my voice, but I have a little bit of acting.
This is my favorite part of Magic right here, where both
Jared.
players are like, does it result? This is still.
I love the cat face palm that we're getting from him.
Vampire Hex Mages go to the bottom of the libraries because that's what happens when you terminus. Right?
Yes.
It's a flavor win right there.
I think so.
Totally makes sense.
It comes back another day, I guess.
Expedition map or a forest.
Okay.
This lets him play crop rotation from his hand.
Yes, which is actually probably not unimportant when you are dealing with Snapcasters or Splashers.
It's a line to win. That's what that does. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Depths on 3.
Could sack it to take all the counters off the map if he wanted. You're
Ooh.
right. Yeah, it could have gone to his graveyard.
Maybe.
He could have made choices. I think that's the correct play.
It is kind of silly how Turbo Depths has this card that is entirely there just for the purpose of winning the game of taking counters off of Dark Depths. Also happens to kill Planeswalkers.
Interesting.
That's dumb.
Yeah. I mean, sort of.
Oh, look, I have this neat sideboard main deck tech against your Teferi or your Jace or your... That's sick.
Yeah, it's life, though.
What is a Hex Mage, anyway? It's a mage, but do they just hex people? Is that what they are? They can only hex?
Yeah, they can't do any sorceries or incantations or enchantments, but they can hex you.
And does he specifically hex
It
vampires,
also
or is he a
resets
vampire?
It does, Tony. The Black Thalia always triumphs. I mean, basically.
Does it have to have first strike?
It does. Otherwise,
vampires-
it's not Black Dahlia.
I guess not.
Because hexes go before anything else. Right? Hexes, sorceries, incantations. Isn't that
I didn't know there's an order.
Isn't
for
that what
this
Snape says? Snape's like,
oh.
I will have none of your silly wand waving hexes, sorceries, or
So
incantations.
wand waving is actually first.
But there's no
That's
vampire
that's
wand wavers
Double
in
strike.
this.
Okay.
Okay. So we're getting a 2020. Here.
Wand waving strike. I'm gonna do this thing. Do you have anything you can do about it? This is at some point in the game. I'm not actually sure when though.
Okay, there's a Sapcaster Mage.
It's gonna try and
Cool.
do a
Yeah, it resolves.
Swords to Plowshares.
We're gonna cast the Swords to Plowshares.
Haha! I've got this.
We're gonna crop rotate.
This is a flavor wind
Rotate
right here.
into the bog.
This is a total flavor wind right here, right, guys? We've got a crop rotation where you take the soybeans and you turn them into corn, and that lets you protect your 2020 indestructible from becoming a farmer.
Soybeans into corn into alfalfa. Okay, it's gonna make alfalfa, and then
makes sense.
we're gonna let the fields lie fallow for a
Uh-huh.
little while, and then your 2020 attacks are 20.
right, because then it can't become a farmer with the Swords to Plowshares.
You're right.
Yeah,
Because automation.
yeah, because those.
So
steps,
basically,
because
you're
of
saying
It's
that
a
there's a driverless car that's involved somehow, and Elon Musk comes and tells us that
Nope.
AI is.
Nope. I didn't actually figure it out at all. It made sense in my head, so I said it out loud.
Okay.
We get a game 3 here.
Yeah, make sure that it's 1-1.
Good.
And let's see if the other match is doing anything.
Ooh, okay.
Let's see if anything's going
I think
on.
they're done.
They're playing Keyforge. They're playing Keyforge on the back of match.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you guys want to see what that looks like? It looks like this right now.
I don't think either of them really know what they're doing.
I don't either. So
It looks like Stockton named Brobnar, and he's starting his Brobnar turn with the one card that he can play. I'm gonna run grab a snack because my body is all of a sudden very empty.
We're going to watch these guys
You
look
need
at their cards.
Anything?
Nope. Fabulous right here. I have steps and farming and 2020s.
Soybeans and corn
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah. The whole world just shook. Thanks for joining us, everybody, in chat tonight. It's nice of you to come and listen to my bad jokes about something. No one farms after dark? Hey, he crop rotated. That's farming. I don't know anybody that rotates crops except for farmers. So... we get to watch the most exciting part of our Legacy streams, which is this amazing shuffle and then cut your deck, draw some hands, maybe mulligan and shuffle some more. It'll be fun. Let's see what Turbo Depths can do on the draw. And Miracles needs lands to... oh, looks like he found a land. There we go. Island for Corey. Zach draws a card and plays a land of his choice. And he runs out a Safekeeper. Shufflecam is the only reason. I keep telling these guys we need like just right up there, just another camera where somebody's just shuffling cards. You know, just I don't have any cards to shuffle. What are these? Probably shouldn't shuffle them. Oh no, I don't know. Some just shuffling cards. Keep Clavian entertained. And then there wouldn't be any silence. There'd just be the sound of shuffling all the time. Counterbalance. Counterbalance is interesting. It's not nearly as effective against Turbo Depths as it is against some other decks, because Depths can, of course, just win by playing out some lands. But it stops a lot of the shenanigans that Depths can do. Just shuffle a deck the whole stream. If only there were some magic cards around me. Like, surrounded by them. Make a compilation of all the best of, not the best of tour, but the best of shuffling. That's a very good idea, actually. All right, let's test some counterbalancing here. Get the swamp. Ooh, 24/7. That's a lot of shuffling. My hands would get tired. Hexmage counterbalance sees an island on top. The Hexmage resolves. Chat has informed me that we need a 24/7 hour shuffling stream that just goes nonstop.
Yeah, that seems right. That seems exactly right.
And the
But
ASMR
by chat-
just shuffling.
Oh, just get a shuffle sound right next to a mic and just have it keep going. Oh my goodness.
Some rifle shuffling.
Oh my goodness.
Uh,
If you want me shuffling a deck the entire stream, I can do that for you guys.
Maybe that would be a thing.
I mean, we do have the best shuffle cams in all of Legacy streamed content.
Yeah.
Like, no one has better shuffle cams
Nope.
than us. So I gave these guys 5 minutes to finish up this match because...
Well, sometimes you gotta have nightmares, right? Batusai. Sorry. Because...
I don't want to draw.
Oh, that's fine.
I think I started a little bit late.
Oh, I didn't actually start a timer for anybody.
That's
anyway.
okay.
I turned it off.
Riffle shuffling. I'll pull out my vintage deck and mash shuffle it in front of the mic.
Ooh.
Because you can hear when there's reserve list cards in it, right? You can hear when there is power.
They do shuffle differently. Right?
Uh-huh.
The card
Totally.
thickness is different. And so whenever I shuffle power cards, they always bend at the most inopportune times. The corners get caught every time.
Yeah, always.
I've never shuffled power cards.
You never shuffled power?
No, I don't know.
Really? I think a lot of Magic players have shuffled power. Well, I guess that's not even true. There's probably like 1% of all Magic players that have shuffled power.
Not really.
Uh-huh.
Corey draws. He has the Swords of Splashes. I don't know if he just drew it or not. He says, Go ahead. Yeah, do it. I want you to. I want you to do it. What? Come on, what? Oh.
One the man with a plan.
I
He
played,
shuffled
I think I
power.
played your vintage deck just.
We're rifled.
Yard
Yard
order.
order. Oh.
Your yard order.
Oh, you're talking about...
Safekeeper protects it? Is that what just happened?
Yeah.
And
Laundering money.
uh-huh.
Who looks out for him?
He can't even maintain a yard.
The Sylvan
But,
Advocate. The Sylvan Advocate is his
Ooh.
lawyer.
Oh, that's nice. So we have a safekeeper, a library, and an advocate. And
It's all the major professions.
they prevented farming because farming is bad.
They're not an agrarian society.
Right.
They're like the Dutch.
Yeah. And Corey over here with his Become a Farmer deck, which is really the true name for this.
No farming, no going to the bottom of the library,
Nope.
no fun for Maryland.
No, they just get to swing for 20. That's what they do.
Zach got there.
They get to go to a park that has a swing set and swing 20 times. We've got it figured out, guys. Don't worry. We understood exactly what happened. We saw what didn't happen. The safekeeper.
Terry showed up. Terry and Calvin showed up, so I think we have 10 players now.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
excellent. We have
Yeah.
some other. So are we actually still keeping Corey and Vivi on stream?
Yeah, they will
We're
still be on stream, no matter who their opponents
All
are.
right, we're gonna hang out back here with me now.
Okay, I'll be right back.
So, in case you guys didn't know, why wouldn't you though? Like, this is just common knowledge. There is a team constructed tournament on the 29th. It's kind of a reward tournament for the qualifiers that we've had throughout the year. So, everybody who's won one of those Legacy, Modern, or Standard qualifiers gets to bring a team to the team constructed. We'll be streaming that, and then on the 30th, there's a Legacy. It's like a 1K. It's everything that gets paid in gets paid out in cash. So it depends on how many people, of course. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get 30 players. We'll stream that on the 30th, and then we'll start soon after that a 24-hour stream, which will mostly be like Magic Online events and stuff like that, of us showing you how not to play Legacy. But we'll do it really well. We'll do a good job. explain exactly what not to do. At least I will when I'm on stream for 24 hours. So I'm gonna set up for round 2. We should have 4 rounds for you guys tonight, which is the best kind of rounds.
I did take a couple times. You're right.
And we'll see what decks we have. I think those guys went to time, so we should have round 2 really soon here for you. Alfred versus Corey, I heard.
Yeah, Alfred and Corey and Calvin and Vivi.
What is Alfred
watch
playing?
Alfred's on Miracles.
Oh,
And Calvin's on Grace's Control.
So we can watch the Miracles mirror, or we can leave that as the backup cam like we did this time.
Yeah.
And we can start out on the other one. That's going to be like a Grace's Seed Control style-ish deck versus like a blue-black X control deck versus Eldrazi Post.
Your reward for sticking with us, everybody who didn't leave in the 6 seconds that we weren't streaming Magic, is
The 6 seconds.
Eldrazi Post versus Grace's Control.
When Corey sleeves up AKs, you know it's time for Riffle Shuffling.
Whoa, look at that playmat come down. Did you see the Arabian Nights playmat?
Yeah, on Saturday?
On Saturday, that thing was cool.
Dude,
It was like
Ben had an excellent playmat choice.
It was a what was it from? It was from
the
Vegas,
Old School Championship.
Old
in
School
Vegas.
Championship playmat, and it looked like an Arabian Nights pack.
Yeah, cool. I think that Gordon picked that up for him.
Makes sense.
It was a gift. They came as stained glass.
Why is our camera not able to focus on this playmat?
Oh,
It's a heartbeat.
Oh,
Everybody, it's heartbeating. It's
Can we?
goodness. We can't do anything about it. I don't think we can try. Maybe. Fingers crossed, everybody in chat.
We did it.
Wow, it actually did the thing. It was
There's
supposed
no
to
more
do.
heartbeat of spring.
Wow.
Jeez. Is GP Shizuoka Eldrazi Post with Grim Monoliths? It's not the specific GP Shizuoka list, but GP Shizuoka Eldrazi Stompy won it.
Okay.
Or was it Post? Was it Post or Stompy that won it? Type in magic.wizards.com. Don't mind the camera, that's just a Carnage Terror walking over the field.
We played a game after Saturday's finals,
Okay.
and yeah, that was a joke that needs to happen now in Magic, because in Arena you play a Carnage Tyrant and you get a dinosaur thing that jumps up out of the table, right? So we decided in Paper, if you play a Carnage Tyrant, you have to jump up on the table and
Just start
kind of
dancing
crawl
or
down
something.
and scream, and yeah, you have to make the same motions.
Eldrazi with Grim Monoliths Stompy. Yeah, it was Stompy. I was pretty sure it was Stompy that did it. But the rest of the top 8's pretty cool.
This is a Thoughtseize from Mr. Amazon hat.
That's Calvin.
That is some product placement right there. How much is Amazon giving us for that?
All of the money. I mean, they do own Twitch, so they're actually giving us money.
Whoa. Well, so if you have Amazon Prime, which is a subtle reminder with that hat, nope, it's over there. That hat, way over there. You can use your Amazon Prime subscription to subscribe to us with Twitch Prime, which is why
You'd never play a card as Tyrant around us, so you wouldn't have to jump up on the table.
Okay, but there's lots of other things you have to do. Like, what's one of the other animations? If you put
the
down
Planeswalkers all
arouse Eric, you have to say something corny. Something like that. And if you play 1,000-Year Storm, then
we found our
Lightning
new voice
Bolts
actor
and-
for Arouse Eric.
I'm pretty sure that's what he says every time. 1,000-Year Storm, it gets fog. Oh, what's the foggy one? Settle the Wreckage. You have to like bring a fog machine. Hold on, guys. Okay. I'm casting Settle the Wreckage.
over the map.
They should do it for a pro tour.
Yeah, no. That would be hilarious.
LSB can't settle the wreckage. Fog across the
I have a vape. Does that count? Yeah, that actually might be. That might be more practical for most Magic players.
Some guy.
So what happens?
Some guy gets a
What
token.
happens when someone plays Winds of Change or something, or Wheel of Fortune? Do you have to like Bob Barker and be like, da da da?
They don't have an animation for that on
Not
Arena
yet.
right? Yeah, it's only.
I want to play vintage with these rules. Wheel of Fortune. Beep 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 beep. Oh.
All right. In the meantime, these guys, Vivi and Calvin, have played some lands.
Yeah. I mean, Walking Ballista got like dazed or something, and Calvin's just kind of sitting here with his lands in play, and yeah.
I think Walking Ballista got edicted. What happens if you get edicted?
I guess that makes sense.
Is it can edict be past tensed? Ediced? You get ediced, guys. I just looked it up. Google said so.
Because you totally just looked it up and Google totally said, you're right.
Snapcaster on Thoughtseize.
No one call him out for
You
his
can have
BS.
one of these. Would you like a Karn or an Endbringer? I'd probably choose the Endbringer.
So does BS in your world mean Bryce says?
Mm-hmm.
Bryce says so it's true.
Yep.
It's an alternative type of fact.
Lives are changing for no reason.
Thoughtseize is resolving.
Yeah,
That's why life is
Vivi's
changing.
life changed. Whoa, Karn goes away. That means
This Endbringer's gonna hit play.
yeah. It's like being evicted. You get addicted. Wow. Yep, I think my other one was better. For some reason,
I think Jesse wins with just that.
Yeah.
Jesse, we've already voted, and this year's Hero-E, which is the Paragon City Games Award, goes to you.
You get a Hero-E.
For
that's hard to say.
Best worst chat correction today. That's what your category is.
Nope, the day's not over. Somebody else might beat him. You've been nominated. Right?
Not a nominee.
Whoa! I'm gonna swing at your Endbringer with the Snapcaster Mage. Block!
That's
I dare
aggressive.
you. That's great. What can he even have that would matter? I guess a lightning bolt, right? That's what he's saying he has. So this is going to be a lightning bolt plus a
Colgan's command,
K command, yeah,
or a snap edict.
Yeah,
which is probably the more likely of the two.
Oh yeah, nope. I want to see bolt K command.
Neither of those.
Gurmag Angler. The other thing that
and he's gonna leave the edict in his bin.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Jesse's so excited.
I don't even remember what my first past tense version of edict was. Ediced. That's right.
Yeah. I don't know that I can do any better than that. Let's be honest.
Just say things, and one of them will sound funny, and you win.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Well, Vivi is like really contemplating this all his dust. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4.
Math's hard. Jesse, yes, I've been nominated. You can be a part of our award show.
Yeah. Just come back out from Cali. Hey, are you going to be at the 3K? Do you want to go to a Channel Fireball 3K with me next weekend?
Where's that?
In San Francisco?
It's probably a little bit far for me to travel for a 3K.
I mean, but like...
It's not like it's the holidays when there's things happening.
At all. Don't worry
weekend.
about that. Except there's totally things happening every weekend, which is nuts.
Yeah, just every weekend.
But, yeah, Jesse, are you going to be at the Channel Fireball 3K next weekend? What day is it? Sunday the 16th, I think. 16th, that sounds right. Sunday the 16th. Next Sunday. Are you going to be at Portland, GP Portland? Because that's where I'm going to be this weekend.
Hey, it's an Endbringer.
Hey,
Never
look,
seen that
it's
one
back.
before. Yep. And
A walking ballista for 4/6, so 3. It's got 1 counter left on it.
Neat.
Yeah.
Jace, you died. You didn't really do anything. Oh, did you see
Hey,
that Amazon hat
Endbringer.
though?
Yeah.
He's reminding you. Twitch Prime.
Sunday.
Use your subscription if you want.
Use your Twitch Prime
Yeah,
subscription.
yeah. If you've forgotten and you had already subscribed and it renewed, but you didn't remember that it renewed, you can click it and then that would happen.
Get those Amazon Prime dollars to the peoples. 4 mana fog, tap your lands.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Calvin didn't just die, but that Jace was less than stellar when
I think
unsummoned
my
was better.
K Command Lightning Bolt would have been a better game plan. He should have done that instead.
I agree. K Command Lightning Bolt would have been way better. You've been trying to get CFB to change the 3K and 1Ks to Saturdays. Yeah, but a lot of people in the Bay Area have Sundays off and don't necessarily have Saturdays off. I understand that it's rough.
K Command.
That's the start.
Getting
Destroy and deal 2? Or is he
Oh,
getting his Snapcaster back?
Destroy Ballista. That makes sense because it would just get huge. Get back a Snapcaster. And then don't you just die? Oh, Endbringer didn't do anything. Oh, Endbringer
Endbringer had summoning sickness.
I hate it when my cards have sicknesses. Take him to the doctor. Whoa, Calvin to 0. He died. I saw him go to 0. Game was over.
There was no game action that officially put him to 0,
Oh,
and so
okay.
he did not die.
I saw him use a game action to tap the life counter down to 0.
That's actually not a game action.
Wait a minute. You can't have 2 Endbringers.
Well, Vivi does.
Does that just start the game over?
Because you're bringing the end, and then
Yeah.
you're bringing the end of the end. So you're just
No,
ending it
that'd
faster.
be an Endbringer. Wait,
Endbringer.
this is too much. I'm sorry. Everybody stop.
By everybody stop, you mean me.
Okay,
you.
okay. Let's go watch this much more. Somebody won that.
For game 2, it sure was. That was definitely Vivi that just won that.
2 Endbringers won the game. Interesting.
Sweet.
Yeah. So here we are in the middle of this very interesting
We're in the middle.
situation. What time did we start this round? 8? No, I don't know. We'll do the timer next round.
Let
Don't
me
worry
go see
about
if I started this timer out here.
Yeah, if you want to tell me what it is. Okay, so we got Miracles versus Miracles. This is game 1 for these guys. This is the only reason you don't play this deck. The only reason being when there's a Snapcaster versus a Monastery Mentor. That's the only reason. I'm sure you mean because of the mirror match and how fun it is to play it. It actually can be kind of interesting. If you're a Miracles player, I could see why playing the mirror would be your type of thing. Because you like to take breaks between rounds. That's the reason. Tyler, I like the encouragement. Vivi just won that last match, or that last game of round 2, and we'll jump back over there once they've sideboarded. I'm going to give you guys an actual timer here.
So, literally started a minute ago, technically. So this round is extra long.
So we're starting it now.
Yeah.
So we'll just pretend it doesn't exist this match.
What about you can smoke and like breaks?
Carrion
between
doesn't
rounds?
like to play Miracles.
It's the only reason I
because
don't play this deck.
of this very reason.
Go, you're right, Tyler. Go Vivi. She won 1 game. She's up a game in the match.
Carrion Lich also likes to.
I don't think they'll ever ban Painter itself, but they'll continue to subversively ban all the cards around it because they're good in other decks. So, are you doing GP Portland? I am, and then the 3K, or are you joking about? No, I'm actually going to be in Portland. I'm going to be in Portland paying money for vintage cards. Like, that's the main thing that I'm doing there. And then, like, playing the Ultimate Masters PTQ and maybe Modern, but probably just Legacy side events. As far as the 3K, I still haven't decided if I'm going and who I'm going with because people are bailing on me.
I did not bail on you. I never said I was going. All right. We'll jump back to Magic instead of watching these two throw cards at each other.
They're playing Magic.
Oh,
Bryce?
I haven't actually looked at
Captain QC isn't even here. Like, chill.
Okay, you're right. Sorry.
He's the most vitriolic against miracles. No, he's not even. He's actually fine.
Yep.
He's about as bad as Carrion Lich. This is why I don't play it. Okay, I'm glad you don't play miracles. Like, as far as things go, this is actually a pretty interactive match for both of them. Like, Corey has set up a very good terminus, and Alfred's been able to defend his monks, and now he has a whole bunch of monks.
He's got a Jace, so he's winning.
He's got a Jason, a bunch of monks.
Yeah.
And it's his turn right now?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. No, 3K is next weekend. It's the following weekend. So I'll be up in Portland this weekend, starting Thursday, and then I'm out of there after that. It is interactive, and it does take forever. You're right.
These guys are finishing shuffling up their deck from our other match. We'll jump over there
Momentarily, but I think Alfred's going to lock this one up. It's not a terminus off the top, Corey. It's close. We'll just cast the terminus.
Yep.
I spoke too soon.
It wasn't a terminus, it was a terminus. Because he really needed it. Otherwise he was dead.
Yeah.
Terminus? No?
Termusness.
I just like trying them out. See what you guys think.
Are you still wanting to buy power? I have already bought the power. I am just taking cash to finalize or to clear my debt to this vendor.
Goodness, you're indebted to a vendor
Technically, yes.
for power.
Technically, yes. So the funny thing is the way that my bank account works sometimes is that I get paid in large chunks of money infrequently throughout the year, and so I had a large chunk of money enter my bank account literally hours after I finalized this transaction with the person, based on the fact that I would have money to pay him. I've kept it in my bank accounts since then, and now have to pull it out in cash because it was easier for this vendor to pick it up at this tournament rather than any previous tournament or at another time, and allow me to essentially rent it from them or have it on loan for Eternal Weekend for the past month.
So it's like Mana Traders, but for paper.
It's kind of like Mana Traders, but for paper. But at the end of it, I have to pay the full market value of it, minus a couple of % here and there for being, close friends with
all right
that vendor.
These guys are still playing. Do you want to see how this ends up?
Cardboard is a drug. It is a heck of a drug.
Game did get interesting here.
It is a rough mirror, and it is interesting. I think we sit with this for a little bit because the Vivi Calvin match is going to be there's going to be a couple more plays before it becomes very important, and I think that there's going to be some unique turning point that we're going to see momentarily.
Thought Not Series getting Force of Gold.
Yep.
On the other side,
Corey that was an excellent thing.
Council's Judgment on Jace. Mentor got Swords to Plowshares. There's a monk remaining. That's all it's in play.
Yeah. And Alfred still could be in control, but Corey does have 2 cards in hand. It's not like it's all over. What's the blue card in exile? There's an accumulated knowledge.
From a dual deck.
Lasco the King.
Boo.
On Corey's side, yeah. It's the accumulated knowledge from the dual deck. I think it's a much more ugly accumulated knowledge, but
it's not accumulating any knowledge. There's just like a bunch of white things swirling around.
Danke, bitte.
We've only shown a few people this card.
Oh, which card? Sorry. Oh, the new ugly accumulated knowledge.
That I can't spell. That's 2 C's. Wait. Alright, everybody in chat.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of this dual deck in general, but one of the dual decks that I never owned.
Is Is there any knowledge being accumulated? I guess there's some eyeballs.
They're the more ugly cards. Oh no, not the Miracles Mirror.
We're gonna jump right back over to Grixis Control versus Eldrazi Post. We just thought we'd see how this game ends.
It looks like Corey's starting a turnaround, and Alfred's got a little ways to go before
This
he
has
can
actually
get back
been
in.
very interactive and back and forth.
Seriously. Let's predict here. So Corey does have the Force of Will that you could hard cast on this predict, just trying to decide if it's worth turning off that kind of card advantage.
Probably not.
I don't know what it is. Gets rid of the Terminus for it, but picks up a Source of Plowshares and a land, which isn't doing a whole ton. But he's going to stop Corey's Reign of Terror. Reign of Terror. The end of turn.
Was that a Reign of Terror, really? A little 1/1 monk that just became a farmer?
I don't know. The brown shirts were probably just 1/1 monks that have prowess.
Ooh, this card is potentially powerful.
But it's a whiteboard important. Which Karen Lynch just gave us a nice little like double ellipsis about.
Ooh. ...
Don't you love when Stephen Colbert quotes the president's tweets and he goes ... And the liberal media.
Hey, he found a Jace.
Hey, that's pretty good. That is going to be good.
What kind of cards do you think Legacy could use right now?
Deathrite Shaman.
Right now.
Deathrite Shaman.
Not tomorrow.
Deathrite Shaman.
Just right now.
Right now.
Just that one?
Yeah. That card needs to be unbanned.
Deathrite
Deathrite Shaman was the most egregious, like, overstepping of bans ever. Like, it was so bad that they banned it. Honestly, the format has started dying. Like, overall playability of the format has gone down.
Sure.
There are less people playing Legacy now than there were during the heyday of Deathrite Shaman.
Okay. What else? If it wasn't Deathrite Shaman, what cards does Legacy
Survival of the Fittest could
use?
get unbanned.
Right. What about something that doesn't exist? What does Legacy need to create a new?
Black Lotus is probably fine in Legacy. So if they bring back Top, here are the things that I think Gataxian Prep needs to be banned. I think Gristlebrand is likely another culprit that should be banned, and I think that Terminus should be banned. Terminus and Counterbalance. No, I don't think it's the price of. I don't think the price of cards is the reason that people are not playing Legacy. There are 40 some odd people in the state of Utah that have come and played Legacy in this store at the same time, and they are not playing Legacy, and it's partially because of the Deathrite Shaman ban. It's not because of the price of cards, because they all own their decks and they all own their cards. Because Deathrite Shaman got banned, 6 people literally stopped playing Legacy. They said because of the Deathrite Shaman ban. Like, and it's happening all over the country. Look at every LGS, look at every local game store scene. Everyone is having trouble firing Legacy. Like Card Kingdom, who used to get 65 on a normal week, is getting like 20. No. When your tournament scene drops by a third immediately after a banning, you know it's the banning's fault. It's not because of the price of cards.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it as well. The game is now so expensive that it's harder to get new players into it. So when one player does sell their collection to buy a car or whatever, there's no new players jumping in.
Which I actually have thought about selling my vintage deck, and that's honestly, if you're gonna sell a Magic deck to buy a car, maybe vintage. I don't think selling a Legacy deck, unless you need the car to get around and do stuff. Like, if you're just upgrading your car, like, I don't think selling a Legacy deck makes sense.
Not very many people have a vintage deck to sell.
No, but I'm saying that if that's the consideration.
There's also a number of people
disillusioned
with Magic
Clayview.
as a game.
My like LGS hasn't fired over. Like, see, we're having trouble firing with 8 people on a Tuesday night when we used to be getting 20 plus, and that's happening in Arizona that I've heard of. Las Vegas died slightly before the banning, but that was due to other things. Be a car or Magic deck. The number of people disillusioned with Magic as a game. There are a lot of people disillusioned with Magic as a game. I agree. How many viable decks that didn't include Deathrite Shaman?
Maybe it's us. Maybe it is.
Maybe it's who that does what.
Maybe it's us that why we're not getting. Except we wouldn't be affecting any other LGS's legacy turnouts.
Yeah, as far as like LGSs in this state, every other LGS that's tried firing Legacy has never been able to have it as consistently as we have and with the numbers that we have. So I don't think it's just us, but I'm going to pin it on the Deathrite Shaman ban. The card was broken. I agree, but it's no more broken in the sense of brokenness than Gristlebrand is, honestly. It's no more broken than Brainstorm is. Like, there are other cards that are far more broken than Deathrite Shaman, and Deathrite Shaman died for nothing. Utah. We're in Salt Lake City.
Alan, where are you where you're getting 40 plus still?
Yeah. See, a lot of people enjoyed playing 4-color Durdle piles. And I didn't play a 4-color Durdle pile, but I enjoyed playing against a 4-color Durdle pile because your opponent, like, you knew how games would kind of start out, and you could really just kind of play the game. And it felt more, I don't know, games felt more interactive with Deathrite Shaman than they do right now.
You're in Seattle and you're still getting 40 plus. And is that at Bellevue? No, that's in.
Yeah,
that's where you get 40%.
No, I think it's the what's that one? OG Mock Sporting House, not Mox Bellevue.
Yeah, downtown.
But yeah, I forget which district it is in that city. Ballard. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
See, but when you went from 65 plus at your normal weeklies, Alan, right, going down to 20, 30, 40, like, that's not amazing. Let's see. Game 1 against Graveyard decks sucks now. I agree. Game 1 against Graveyard decks is kind of sucky.
These life totals haven't changed in forever. And
no, but
Corey's
well in the lead.
Yep.
You were on 4 Blood Moons. Hey, if you're on 4 Blood Moons so you can stop the deck, like, that's cool. Like, it I think that makes the game more fun because your deck build matters so much more. And individual cards are now mattering so much more rather than, like, the game's coming down to, oh, I just got him to Torok 4 times. Like that is happening now, where when we had Deathrite Shaman, you weren't getting him to Torok 4 times because the him to Torok would land and then you just eat it with your Deathrite Shaman and then you wouldn't get Snapcaster or him to Torok again. Like,
you obviously don't really care about this at all.
I do care about Deathrite Shaman being banned quite a bit. Also because I own 2 playsets of very nice altered ones, and I got out of my foil version of the deck that was nicely altered because of the Deathrite Shaman ban, and I'm kind of salty.
So
older folks have an easier time getting jaded at the format.
Okay, so I think that we can say that just about everything that was being complained about in Legacy, because that was pinned on Deathrite Shaman, is still happening in Legacy.
Yeah, nothing.
It didn't change.
None of the reasons for why Deathrite Shaman got banned have been fixed because of the ban.
Right.
And so I think it's just as good to have Deathrite Shaman back in the format.
I think that makes sense.
Mana bases, you're right, aren't as greedy.
If anything, Grixis control became more streamlined and better.
Yeah.
For a while, anyway.
Yeah,
and the reason it's not maybe showing up as much isn't necessarily that it's
okay. And now
it's not as good.
So Corey got it.
So, these guys are still playing.
Yeah,
here we go.
And they're in a very healthy part of the game. So Calvin is on the ropes against Double Endbringer.
That just got played out.
Yeah, with this Thorn of Mammoth.
They're summoning sick.
So Calvin has to be able to get rid of both Endbringers here in order to survive, and then deal 21 damage to win.
It's kind of weird that these colorless creatures aren't artifact creatures, so they can't be destroyed by artifact hate, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird element of Eldrazi.
That's one of the things that made Eldrazi Winter as bad as it was, because people had Smash the Smithereens, Ancient Grudge, and everything for the Affinity X and stuff, but
right.
Eldrazi were just... You have to have very specific cards to be able to deal with. You have to be playing, like, Murderous Cut in your food chain decks. So it looks like Vivi got that.
Yep.
Yeah, so Vivi went 2-0 this round. The Grixis Delver player getting taken down by our Eldrazi Coast player. I don't think that that's a particularly favorable matchup for Post, unless something like that happens where they can just kind of overwhelm the Grixis control magic, which is it looks like is what happened.
MWPS agent ABS disagrees because there was Leovold and Checkpile.
Or don't play anything. The deck was tier 0. I mean,
I don't think so.
Grixis Delver was better than Leopile.
Yeah.
Pretty consistently, like as far as tournament results and everything that we're seeing. We were definitely kind of seeing the bandwagoning fallacy where, because Grixis Delver was the most played, it continued to be the most played, and more people were getting in to play that deck, rather than figuring out ways to fight it, because a lot of the decks that could beat Grixis Delver had really bad matchups against other people. But as far as like back in that era, like Food Chain was very good. Before the Deathrite Shaman ban, Food Chain was not much better than it is now, but it had a better angle on the metagame because you knew what you were prepping for.
Sure.
You can check that. Go to MTG Top 8. Which one? Go back in time. Check it. There were more Grixis Delver decks that top 8'd and had MTGO things than there were of any other deck and any other combination of decks.
And there was a good period of a few months where, after the banning, there was still Grixis, right? And then it just became Grixis Control.
And there are still people playing Grixis Pile. Like, Grixis Leo Pile. Like, it still exists. Getting rid of Deathrite Shaman didn't get rid of that deck. It just got rid of its foothold in a very specific style of play and the way that people were playing the deck. Like, there wasn't a lot of innovation in the main decks, and that's what people got tired of. So why are we still watching this one?
Is the other one still being played?
I'm pretty sure. They were done. Are they done? No.
These guys are playing one more.
They're playing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Guys, we got to see one more match. This is game 2, right? For these guys.
Yeah. Legacy doesn't really change that much. The only times it really changes is like when Flash Party and Hulk, when that combo was kind of printed, and then like, what are the other big ones? Like, what is once Eldrazi Winter happened in Modern, like Eldrazi broke out of the format, and became part of the format, and then like Black Red Reanimator.
Would you want to see a rotating Legacy format where there was like a rotating ban list where Deathrite Shaman is banned and then they unban something else, and then but you know that it's going to actually change in 6 months or a year or whatever, so that because when Deathrite Shaman was banned,
change the way that people buy into the format.
Okay.
Yeah, when Deathrite Shaman was banned,
we had more people actually show up the next week, even though now they've gone away. There was a intrigue, right? People were like, "Oh, let's see what this Legacy format is like. Let's see what my deck looks like." And people were interested in it, and there was new. You could kind of brew, and you could kind of test out some stuff.
Yeah, that was enjoyable for a week or two, and then people were like, "Well, it's the same thing.
It's the exact same thing.
Like nothing's changed."
Right.
And that's the disappointing thing. And like Nate's been really outspoken on that specifically, that nothing was changed in the format. Right. But yeah, no, if the reserve list died, I think it would be beneficial to a lot of us. I think it would generally be beneficial even to the people like me who own, X thousands of dollars in reserve list cards. Like, yeah, cool. Because we've kind of seen that when something gets reprinted, like the reserve list, like the cool limited edition copies of it kind of retain their price. Like, yeah, it's going to lose a little bit because it kind of loses its premium because people don't need it.
But if people could suddenly play vintage because they could actually access the cards
in 2 to 5 years, like my cards would probably double in value because people would want to buy into the cool stuff. It kind of changes that. Like, once you get a taste for vintage, it's hard to.
But I think a rotating format for Legacy would be quite interesting, and you wouldn't have to do much. You could just unban a couple things, ban a couple things, and
make it more active, kind of like a MOBA rebalancing sort of, where they're just rebalancing and tweaking.
Yeah.
It'd be really nice if instead of banning necessarily, there were erratas on cards. Like, I'm fine if they errata Deathrite Shaman to be a 0/1. That would be excellent. That would be an interesting errata to see, and it would allow us to like still have a very good Magic card, but that has a
so you
an
can
actual
you
drawback.
can nerf a card without having to reprint a new version of it.
Yeah,
that's an interesting idea too.
so I can keep my altered Deathrite Shamans.
And that's one of those like if the game was entirely digital, that's how it would work.
Do you think they should set up a rotation on the original Modern ban list? There's a lot of things that are banned because of standard and extended that don't deserve to be on a Modern ban list. I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that rotating both of the ban list in Modern, definitely being much more active on the changes there would be very good, because there's a lot of cards now that are banned right now that wouldn't really impact the format like they would have when the card pool was smaller.
Yeah, and there'd be a way to tweak some of those things. Like, what would happen if Deathrite Shaman was only green?
Yeah.
Would that be enough? Or what if you just removed one of its abilities or something?
Well, if you make it green and you make it a 0/1, like, I'm still going to play it.
Yeah.
It's better than a Bird's Paradise for me. But it's less. I mean, it's
what's
less
what's an example of something that's on the Modern ban list that doesn't need to be there? That's just a leftover from extended. Do you have one off the top of your head?
I don't play Modern enough. I mean, it's like Bloodbraid Elf. Bloodbraid Elf is like, when that came off the ban list, everyone's like, oh no, like be careful, like that, and Jason the Mind Sculptor, right?
It's pretty much the same idea.
Yeah, nothing really happened. But like, I could see a Ponder or Preordain coming off the ban list.
Right.
Like, put a better cantrip in. Stoneforge Mystic could come off the ban list because the format's so fast.
Chrome Mox probably could.
No, I don't think Chrome Mox should.
It's too fast?
No, yeah, because Mox.
Well, Mox Opal probably should be banned.
I agree, but I think that both of them should probably be on the ban list. Yeah. Most of the Modern ban list has a reason. That's right. Like Jitte, I don't think is coming off. Treasure Cruise is not coming off. Like, duh, those are easy ones.
Right.
But like
things that were added after it was made. I
could see Punishing Fire coming off the ban list right now. Honestly, I don't think that the decks.
They should try Golgari Gravefill just to see what it feels like.
Oh yeah. No, they haven't done that.
They're just reprinting it now. Might as well just give it a shot.
The cantrips are there because of Storm and need to stay there.
Okay.
Ka. Okay, give us the Bryce one, and then give us the Terry and the Kyre, because they did that and it was a cluster. Yeah, it was. It was a cluster cuss.
That's silly.
When Golgari Gravefill came off the ban list. No, just no.
See, doesn't work. Doesn't work. Yep.
The Honda Civic driver for Terry. We need Kurt and Stockton to stream more so that you can get good things for them too.
I've been paying.
Splinter Twin could come off the ban list right now.
Yeah, that's silly. It's still there. I've been paying a huge amount of attention to this game. It's very.
So basically,
critical.
What happened is early on, Alfred counter to counterbalance, and then Corey just has had better cantrips, and Alfred has been missing his land drops.
Oh, there you go.
And now Alfred's kind of catching back up, and so. Yeah, basically we're at the point of the game where there's not enough information for us to have to know who's really kind of in control. As far as hand size wise, I think Corey has a better grip on the game, but they both certainly have plenty of interaction before this becomes clear as to what's going on.
Alfred should lose just for playing that brainstorm.
I mean, that brainstorm is better looking than the accumulated knowledge, so Corey should lose just because he's playing accumulated
There you
knowledge.
go. There you go.
That accumulated knowledge.
Do we want to give Tron a better game? So, but that's not why it's banned. It's not banned because of Tron, right? Like that. Ban Tron.
Yeah, I mean, Tron has already had pieces banned out of it, but yeah, if that's the real case, then ban Tron. Like, don't ban Punishing Fire, because Punishing Fire could go into a Jund style deck that has problems with some of these fast aggro decks.
So you tried to meta a rule. You tried to meta your game, your room, and it sort of almost worked.
Even though it's 50% of the room, round 3 completely united a control player at least. Hey, at least you got your 1 for 3. Also, Captain QC, when are you coming out to Utah? Because you need to do that sometime. Or I guess when am I headed out to Quebec?
Is there like a GP in Toronto coming up or anything?
Probably not.
Or a big legacy event? Captain Kesey, when's the next big legacy event in Toronto? Or
Isn't he
Quebec?
like 3 hours away from Toronto?
He's in Montreal, isn't he? Because he's French Canadian.
Do you think that punishing fire would be oppressive to aggro in Modern now, though? Because
Alfred fired the last AK looking for lands. Corey got to draw 2 from the extra AK. It's the little things that matter in the mirror. It is, yeah. I said it last year when Trump is no longer there. Oh, I see. Hey, Utah has nothing to do with Trump at all. We definitely didn't elect him. We did. Utah's very conservative.
dumbly so.
There's no way you're giving the U.S. your money right now. Okay, but if it's not your money, if somehow we get you out here and it's not your money, you're not saying no.
No, Batter School doesn't matter in Modern.
Yeah,
anymore.
ban Batter School in Modern. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
You'll play the swords with you. No one will play Stone of Fortress.
Okay, so if there's Tron right now,
Well,
and you can
that's
go a
different.
turn 3 Karn. How is a turn 3 Batter Skull going to break the format?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure turn 3 Karn beats turn 3 Batter Skull.
Yeah.
It's already U.S. money, so you guess you don't mind. Okay.
They could unban Splinter Twin, Stoneforge Mystic, and
One of the cantrips.
we'd have a whole new type of Modern for a little while, and then everybody would realize that they are not any good in the new Modern, and they'd go back to pretty much being banned because nobody would play them.
Yeah, and then we could start unbanning some other things. That
Somebody would play Splinter Twin, right?
Yeah.
It's too much nostalgia, and it would be too powerful to just randomly win. But
If they unban Splinter Twin, you actually play
See?
again.
There'd
See,
be
I'd
this
probably,
whole-
I'd probably play.
there'd be this whole mesh of players be like, "Yeah, Modern, here we
Splinter
are."
Twin. Hey, they
Wait,
should unban Birthing Pod.
What is this deck you're playing? How did I lost?
Or I could hire a good sniper for your Christmas present.
That's something you can't actually say out loud.
That is something that we as Americans cannot agree to or acknowledge.
Because you were talking about a game where you're talking about
Yeah. No, he's talking about
Fortnite or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sniping,
Yeah, he wants to hire someone to train him to be a good sniper for Fortnite. Completely unrelated from any of the previous conversation we've had.
Yeah. Nope.
We have freedom of speech in our country, totally.
Splinter Twin would take. No, it wouldn't though. It would.
No, it would
for
not
like a
take
week,
over the format.
people-
No, there's no way.
They'd be coming out of the woodwork playing their Splinter Twin decks, not realizing that the format is completely different.
Of course, we have conservatives in our chat. Like the thing is with Magic, there's I think there's a lot fewer centrists in Magic than there are of either extreme, which is kind of interesting. If you look at the political spectrum of Magic, you see a lot of people who are on the very liberal, like I'm gonna say social justice warrior side of it that are kind of like that like have to call everyone out for anything. There's a lot of like thought police or whatever.
Sure.
And then there's a lot of people on the very conservative side who, you know, are listening to Alex Jones and Fox News and believe Trump is the greatest thing that's happened to America. And, like it happens on both sides. And I think there's very few like centrist type Magic players. And I'm definitely a very like moderate centrist.
You think
like,
so? You think there's not centrist people that just?
I
kind
believe
of
there
don't-
are centrist Magic players, but
Okay.
I believe that in the community there's more people on the edges.
They're extremes. Interesting.
Just because of the way that we are as gamers,
Ah.
is we tend to be a little bit more extreme.
I wonder if there's something to that. I have no idea. You can be a conservative and still really not like the situation that our government is in.
You made 3K more because of. I have made I've made many more dollars because of Trump's policies at the beginning of the year, but recently he hasn't been so good for my line of work. And in general, like for my game store, he's actually been overall negative. Like he's not for small business and he's not for the average American. So economically, you know, he's not the worst president economically, but he's also not like his tariffs and things have not been are not coming from an economically sound theory. Would be the old remand, whatever you're doing turn 2, and a turn receiver extract and win turn 4 guaranteed. It was a red blue combo kill. It could also grind you with Snap Bolt Snap. Yeah, sort of, but like literal Dredge right now. Dredge is just nuts. I think Legacy is its own microcosm. I think that we'd probably find more centrists in Legacy than we would in others.
Yeah.
I don't know that Nixon looks like an angel next to Trump. I don't think that's a little far. But yeah, we've had some pretty bad presidents in United States history. Like honestly, Gilded Age presidents, everything going up into World War I and World War II, we had like 2 bright spots of all of those presidents. And then like post-war, like we don't give LBJ and Jimmy Carter enough credit for what they actually accomplished. But like very good presidents who had bad situations. And then like Eisenhower is probably one of the greatest presidents of all time as far as like things accomplished for the country, but like is never mentioned in any of those conversations. So regardless,
because Social Security has for some reason become evil and a talking point when it is anything but that.
Although that was more, I mean, that wasn't entirely Eisenhower, even though he put a lot behind it. Like his biggest thing was the interstate roadway. But one of the worst things is he got us involved in Vietnam. Like it was his policies that directly led us to Vietnam. So
this is exactly what you guys are here for, right? This type of conversation is what you came.
This is what happens during a Miracles Mirror. Sorry, guys, I got distracted and you kept going, so I just kind of followed you down. Which one, like government workers unionize? Eisenhower or JFK? Regardless. So this is a pretty comparative matchup. They've both kind of gone through a lot of stuff, but Alfred's got a lot more action. He's had a lot more action in his hand because of only having the 5 lands. Yeah, he did let government workers unionize. Every president has done, like the Bay of Pigs invasion and the Cuban Missile Crisis. Like JFK was not a saint either. Like not even Obama did a whole bunch of bad stuff too. So like,
there's a pyroblast and a terminus.
Jeez.
1 for 1, 1 for 1.
So it feels like Corey is now back on top, and Alfred is top decking, right? They're both kind of top decking.
If you play pyroblast, you usually win. That's kind of what these matchups comes down to. If one player gets to play a pyroblast, the other doesn't.
Yeah, and I don't think Alfred's got it. As far as the pyroblast.
Really simplify things here. Yeah. We haven't seen that.
He goes bottom top. I think he's saying the brainstorm off of that. Yeah. Unions are a good thing. I think that the policy behind United States unions is, unions in most socialist countries are actually quite good. Like throughout Scandinavia, the UK, a lot of the European Union, in Canada, like unions actually do what they're supposed to. In the United States, they're just kind of annoying. But
they've also created a lot of good things.
MW, PSB agent, and Captain QC apparently agree on nothing.
I like it.
I honestly, one of the people that has been in our chat since like the beginning, right? We're kind of like we're like the throwback stream. Like we're coming up on 2 years that we've been streaming as a store, and Bryce and I started it. Captain QC is always one of the people that I'd love to like just go and hang out like at a bar or a cafe or something, just like go and hang out and like just chat. Because I know that we don't agree on most of these things, but that there would just be interesting things to be said. Legacy is the greatest format. Goblib guy 01. Yeah, but as an economist, when everyone's like, when everyone says that monopolies are terrible and all these things, it's like actually monopolies do have their place, especially in public goods. And when public goods are being overutilized, like, you know, this is fishing or different security and health-based things and blah, blah, blah. A no goblin zone unless it's Welder. Let's see. Splinter Twin posed the old interactive nade instant speed turn 4 using spot. Jesse, you're right, but I think the paradigm of the format has changed. Ban Carrion Lich for being a jerk. Nah, he's good. I'm not gonna time out Carrion Lich. I mean, Captain QC does have a sword, and so does Jesse, so they really feel like it. Hey, dude.
Welcome in. Hey, person. Probably shouldn't assume. But it does say Goblib Guy.
Yeah. Sky.
So,
There's a Jace on one side.
and there's a
No,
Council's
no.
Judgment that apparently got Flusterstorm.
That's all. That's all there is. That's all
But
that
the
matters.
Jace
I
isn't
just told you
taking up
everything
that
relevant
quickly.
right now.
Yeah, Alfred has a whole bunch of cards in his hand, and Corey does have a whole bunch of cards currently in his hand, but they're all in his deck. Your sword is too heavy, so you'd rather not. Okay. Painter is oppressed with the top banning. Gobbles feels the woes of oppressing since the release of Deathray Shaman. Ah! Counterpoint. If they errata Deathrite Shaman to be a 0/1.
Uh-huh.
Oh, do you remember that soul read? Where we're
That was
sitting
forever
there,
ago.
and I'm like, okay, he's definitely got this card.
It was like Brainstorm or something.
No. So I was playing against Burn,
Yeah.
and I was playing Nickfit. It was the two of us, right?
Okay.
And
think so.
I go Cabal Therapy,
Yeah.
and I name Pyrostatic Pillar, and he has 2 in hand, and he had already mulliganed to 5, and he has like no cards in hand after that. He's like, sweet, I'm glad we played this game. But like literally in the clip, I'm like, okay, what would I lose to? I'm like Pyrostatic Pillar, okay, I'm
and
naming
that's
that
what
one,
you have to-
and then just totally got him. Goblin Recruiter feels the banhammer pain. You're right. We could all be playing Food Chain Goblins with Goblin Recruiter and just stack our decks and be like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you can still play Mono Blue Painter. It's almost the same.
Hey, it's
We all know why that was bad.
ancestral knowledge.
Painter, Doomsday, High Tide, Gabo, Spanish Inquisition, Food Chain. Gabo's still oppressed. Yeah, whatever.
It's getting Flusterstorm.
High Tide's actually in a
With
decent
some
spot.
Flusterstorm count.
Flusterstorm count apparently was 3.
It's a weird thing to do then. I guess this prevents him from playing anything else this turn.
Sort of. How many cards is he drawing off of this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow. Just a few.
Is that 6 or 7? Okay, so he's got now 7 cards in hand, right? Jeez. This is where AK's...
The
for the
AK
future.
mirrors.
AKs are the children, and children are the future. I'd like to see Twin back. It would police the format. That's the role of combos.
How
to
is-
keep others honest.
Is Legacy missing combos?
Dude, Doomsday did get hit by both the top and pro ban.
What combo is Legacy missing?
And Legacy's missing combos at the moment. I mean, as far as like being consistent in the top tables, I can see that. But like Omni and Reanimator are still doing pretty good.
Mhm.
Like Dredge is still a player. Like Storm is still a player. Like we're seeing all of it kind of go off, but we're just seeing the reaction of like several different decks being playable, and it's kind of regionalizing. You need to teach them control players to stop playing bad cards just because they say draw. You play Gideon Ally in Stoneblade. Let's see. Doomsday is the one that really got the axe of the combo things. Yeah, Gideon Ally is pretty sweet. I actually really like him. Combo is good for formats. Combo is excellent for formats. As a combo player, I cannot play control.
So here's an interesting article that popped up on Reddit. I'm gonna let you guys link. I'll link to it. It's long. This is in response to Jerry Thompson and
The
Cedric
open letters
Phillips.
with the Phillips.
Yeah, and so here's a link.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the points being that pro players and established players, the people who like Legacy and really like to break down a format, enjoy control and they enjoy combo, right?
Yeah.
No real long established Magic player who really likes the intricacies and really wants to play aggro as like a consistent thing, right?
Yeah.
It's too simplistic or it's too how they started out and they want to get into something that's has more depth, right?
Yeah.
This article, part of it, he gets into how that's not the normal Magic player.
Yeah.
So we have this weird thing where in the Legacy community we think like other players who play Legacy, and we think that that's what Magic should be, right?
Yeah.
When in fact that's a really small portion of the community. And you can say that people who play competitive Magic in general, modern standard even, want something different out of Magic than almost everybody else. So when you say combo is really important,
Yeah, unless you're Craig Weska or Brian Kibler.
Combo important though, really? Like to who? To you? To a very small percentage of the Magic community who likes to really understand and break down and really know their deck
I mean,
and play test and know for every little thing.
as much as we say like Magic is Richard Garfield intended, combo play is Magic is Richard Garfield intended. He intended Channel Fireball to be a thing. He intended like
Yeah.
that was Magic to him.
But
Finding the unique things like that.
Okay, if we want to break down what really was intended, it was intended to happen extremely rarely, though.
You're right.
It wasn't meant to be
It wasn't supposed to be every game.
4-ofs in every deck and have a whole deck that did just that one thing. It was supposed to be, oh, cute, this might
What
happen
happens in
once.
Keyforge is how he intended Magic to be.
Oh, yeah?
Where
it's much
your
more
deck
rare.
is, you know, you kind of just get a whole bunch of cards and this is your deck. It allows decks that aren't just the best aggro to be played. If it's close in each camp, they stay. Let's see.
Okay.
Keep the most players possible. If it's all control players and players don't like control,
there was no card limit in Alpha, but you weren't also supposed to be able to access cards. You were supposed to buy a pack and play with that, not buy as many as you could and build a perfectly tuned deck.
Yeah, like the
whole
20
concept
the 20
of-
mountain 40
Yeah,
lightning
yeah.
bolt deck was never supposed to be.
The whole concept of as intended it gets blown out of the water every single time by that argument.
I guess that's true, but like I feel like the game of Magic is designed to be a combo based game. I think it's designed
but you
not
can see
just
that
to be
we've gone
be
away from that.
synergistic. I agree.
Right?
And the reason we've gone away from that is now creatures are the most powerful thing.
Well, and so that's my point. And the point of this article is saying that most people who play Magic, the majority of them, the kitchen table players, the guys who like Commander and like to just have fun, that's not what they want Magic to be.
Yeah.
And so Wizards has gone away from that. It's become story centric. It's become creatures that do things that you get to interact with your opponent. It's not combo and it's not control.
Yeah.
And you can see that in Standard.
Yeah.
There is a combo deck in Standard right now, but it's so convoluted that you have to really work to get there, right? And it feels pretty silly doing it.
I mean, we've built some between you, Nate, and I. We've built some interesting Standard combo decks and played them on Arena, like that mono blue whatever Aetherflux Reservoir.
Captain QC stories. I mean, like all of the different planeswalkers. The focus of the story of the planeswalkers interacting with each other. They've been pushing that much harder.
Stories. I don't want stories. Take me back to the stories when it was Jard,
yeah.
Capuchin, and Mary. And
I thought it was an actual question.
There's a puke in parentheses.
Yeah.
That's what you're puking about.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, and I think it's interesting. And another point of the article. Well, Corey is now officially taken over the game. I don't think Alfred can come back.
Not yet.
He's got
2 planeswalkers and all this creatures. It's not enough.
He's won.
So wait, drawing 7 off an ancestral knowledge wins you the game. Is that what you're saying? Weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
We got accumulated knowledge.
Accumulated ancestral. It's
for
the
like
same
7
thing.
cards.
Yeah, it's better. I keep calling it ancestral.
Yes, I agree with you, Bear with 2 Guns. It is a little too simplistic and expensive as a rotating format for me to find enjoyment in it. But I think the Standard's in a great place, and it's kind of showing you the paradigm that they want in Magic.
It's a lot better now than it was 6 months ago.
And the reason why you have people like Bryce and I who want to come in and stream Legacy because we enjoy this type of Magic, and the reason why you're watching this, right? The reason why, even though we're watching a control mirror, like we can discuss these things.
Yeah, and we could have been breaking down every play and what was happening and what swing the game. We just have been super distracted.
Well, we're bringing up when the big plays happen, and one of them is when the accumulated knowledge for 6 happened.
That was the difference in the game, really.
And then the Pyroblast on the Jace the Mind Sculptor that turned it from Alfred kind of having the dominant board presence to Corey now having the dominant board presence. And they're doing a very good job. If you look through, if you've been paying any attention to what's been going on, Corey has done a very good job of sandbagging each of his threats. Mm-hmm. He's been very consistent with when he's hitting his threats and how he's keeping them in play, right? He's able to kind of keep Alfred away from getting any sort of domination on the board, and just being sideboarded, by having the Pyroblast and having the Council's Judgment and just kind of hitting the right things. Like Alfred probably kept a very risky hand because he didn't have a ton of lands, but he had to fire off his accumulated knowledges first, and Corey didn't. And Corey was like, "Okay, I'm gonna get paid off. I'm gonna draw 6 cards here. I'm gonna Brain Geyser myself for 2 mana."
The round timer doesn't exist. We burned it to the ground.
Yeah, the round timer will be starting next round. We've had a couple things happen.
So here's the thing. Bear with 2 Arms says, I have Ferraris. Why would I drive a POS car? But have you played Arena? Have you enjoyed playing Arena?
I'm talking to us. This match is eye cancer. Well, I enjoy watching these sorts of plays and breaking it down. But I'm sorry for the people that have wanted our commentary on the match specifically. But I've been enjoying the conversation we've been having on the side. 3 modern decks for you.
Because there's a lot of Legacy players and a lot of Modern players who would prefer playing Modern to Standard, but have been enjoying Arena.
You don't have to spend money to play Arena.
Yeah, you can just jump on and jam a game of Magic, and it's fun.
Yeah, and you have MTGO decks. I have MTGO decks as well, but there are several people recently that have sold out of MTGO just to play Arena. I mean, most of them are in that pro thing, which kind of also speaks to this open letter, right? So Corey wins this one. He cleans it up. And Alfred just got behind. He was forced to fire off his.
Corey won that one 5-0.
Yeah, 5-0. Alfred was forced to fire off his cantrips early and often, where Corey could kind of hold out and allow his card advantage to just become overwhelming.
So I think a lot of people say this. I'd play MTGO before Arena, but have you played Arena? Have you actually tried it out? And you've tried it at several points? Okay, interesting. I think a lot of people at first really disliked it.
Yeah.
This isn't Magic to me, because Magic Online was for some reason Magic to them. But actually, I enjoyed just jumping on Arena, jam a game, just play a game.
Yeah.
And Magic Online feels much more of like a time investment.
That is one of the things I really love about Arena.
I'm going to play a league. I'm going to really invest in this thing and really focus on it. And
Magic Arena very much to me feels more like work Magic Online feels very much more like work. Like
testing. That's where I want to go do testing.
Yeah. When I get on and when I'm prepping for a tournament, or when I just need to like play Magic or something, like that's what I do. When I want like just an enjoyable you know, let me jam this game out.
I'm just gonna play a game of Magic. I don't care. Oh, I want to try something goofy.
It's the quickie of Magic.
Yeah. It works. It works. You can do it.
Can you give me one Teferi?
Ooh.
Captain QC just outpunned you.
We could have a Teferi with an altar.
The Teferi
and a Tefari. Teferi.
Will you do that for our 24-hour stream? Make the Teferi. I'll give you a Teferi to altar.
I probably would get like IP'd by Ferrari instantly.
It's a Teferi. Oh, come on. I'll play MTGO. Look, and I just like Standard. Why would I play Standard? Hey, if you don't just like Standard, like don't. Like that's fine. But
you can draft. You can do silly things. Sometimes they have singleton formats.
No, it's not just because of the flash animations. The gameplay is actually just faster.
Yep. The draft is kind of. It's not draft, but it feels kind of like draft.
Yeah, all the bling in Arena is so annoying. I get it. Yeah. Hating animations. I think you can turn them off now. I'm not sure if they got it.
Pun battle. Teferari's like I got one. Teferari. Teferi.
Something else. Yeah, I play a lot of Call of Duty now. If I want just a fast game, I'll play Call of Duty.
Really?
Black Ops 4. Yeah.
Interesting.
Just because it's like super fast and like I'm a hardcore player and like those games go fast. Yep. Truck hits all the triggers, which is nice. It's always pretty weird. If you don't like Hearthstone, it's very similar to Hearthstone. I'm gonna go check where we are on the matches.
Okay.
On the
should
other
be
side.
pretty close.
Yeah, we should be.
If it offered a legacy, you'd probably play it. So I would not be surprised, and everything that I've been reading and players that are in the know keep suggesting that in not too distant time, Arena is going to supersede MTGO. There's another article just recently. Let's see if I can find it real quick. MTG Arena is killing Magic Online. This is a Channel Firebar article that I read I think it was yesterday? When did it come out? Yesterday. And it breaks down the financial side of things. I'll post it in chat real quick right here. And it shows that between Arena and Treasure Chests, the total cost of owning a playset of every single card in MTGO has dropped a huge amount, has about halved since they announced the change in the redemption program on MTGO.
Terry and Corey, and then Owen and me. Okay. I don't know what Owen's on.
What's Terry on? We'll find out.
I should know. I think he's on Grixis Control. He may be on Grixis Elver. It's one of the two.
Anyway, if you guys are interested, read that. But a lot of pro players who were very anti-arena have come out and said, actually, arena is pretty cool. And if that continues, that trend continues, we could definitely. And as soon as they start playing pro events on arena and having some sort of qualifier and or actual championship on arena, and it becomes the place where players are watching and playing Magic. Somebody said in one of these articles that arena might be more popular today than MTGO ever was in terms of viewers and people playing it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. In terms of viewer and people playing it, like on Twitch, MTG Arena is everywhere, and that's Owen, and I'm not entirely sure what he's on. But I see a Lightning Bolt, a Spell Pierce, a Steam Vents.
Steam Vents. Take that.
Okay.
It's a Delver. This looks like red, blue Delver. That's my guess.
Very well could be. Interesting. Hey, I mean, in general, if you can get into Vintage on MTGO for like what, $300 or $400, like it's not bad. Like being able to play that format. This is kind of the thing though. Is like so many people are able to play that format. Like that's essentially the demolition of the reserve list. But like the format isn't flourishing on MTGO because it's so cheap to play Vintage. Like I think that there's kind of a disconnect. No, so it's definitely a Grixis Delver because he had a swamp in there and he just lost his True Name Nemesis.
Yep, I changed it.
Yeah, let's try the Price of Progress for 10, shall we?
Price of Progress would have won the game, but
if he's playing it, you're right that there is somewhat limited for MTGO.
Well, and
Vintage gameplay does not suck. Vintage gameplay is awesome. I have never had more fun playing a game of Magic than I have playing Vintage in paper at Eternal Weekend. Even though I had people salt off. So here's one of the funny stories from it. So Eric English is a known food chain player. He was one of the guys that popularized it, but he's kind of been off of it for a while.
Okay.
I get matched up with him round, I want to say 5 of the Vintage Champs tournament in Eternal Weekend. And I beat him. He's on Paradoxical Outcome. I beat him with 2-card Monty. And at the end, like I can visibly see him getting salty during Game 3 because he's just like locked out. And so at the end of the game, he says, "I have no idea how your mana works," and it's just being very salty with me.
Okay.
By the end of the weekend, we were on a team trios, Eternal Trios constructed.
Fun.
And like it had all been over, so it was pretty chill. But like, Vintage gameplay is excellent as long as you're okay with one of you not playing Magic.
Vivi here got like the perfect start for Eldrazi, the perfect aggro start, right? Quickly dropping a Thought Knot into a turn 3 Reality Smasher and
Vintage
Battery
gameplay
Shaper.
is the Hearthstone version of MTG. No, Arena is the Hearthstone version of MTG. Vintage is excellent. There's way more like instant speed play in Vintage than there is in Hearthstone. And by known food chain player, like Eric is a well-known Twitter person and an SCG grinder from the upstate New York area. Stacks in Vintage about 15 years ago. Yeah, exactly. Vintage only means anything if you're Rich Shea.
So there's some decks that you can get away with playing Shocklands, but against Eldrazi, not so much.
Yeah. They really punish you for playing that because it just puts so much pressure on you.
Right.
That's why Death Shadow had such a hard time against Eldrazi.
Unless you quickly get out a really big
That
Death
was
Shadow.
Juggernauts. Jeez. Staxes.
Change just a little bit.
Brian Kelly is probably one of the most well-known, but like if you're in the community, like Steve Menendian, Brian Kelly, the Brass Man, like geez, there's a lot of well-known Vintage players, let's be honest. Montolio, who almost got in a fight at Eternal Weekend. Mindslaver was a super thing, yeah. With the exception of Shops, it's unfortunately a huge portion of the meta. Yeah, I play Shops combo. I play 2-card Monty. And so I'm very much in the let's do LSD and cast demonic consultations realm of the format.
I don't think there's any way Owen can possibly win this game, especially with Chalice.
Being at 3 and Chalice, yeah, that's probably
we'll just give the win to
that's a quick
to
one
Vivi
for
here.
Let's
And
go.
we'll jump over and see what's happening over here, where we've got Terry playing Grixis Delver.
Nice.
And Corey, we saw win with Miracles just last. And Terry's not playing with Shocklands. He's playing with a Spanish Delver of Secrets right there. Vintage is interesting. Vintage is it's like a fun thought experiment because each game is kind of like a puzzle, right? Where it feels kind of like Magic the Puzzling, where you really are finding the right line, and
you're actively trying to find the highest percentage line because your opponent could have anything.
Right. It feels more that way than
I agree.
Other formats.
I think one of the very important things to note about Vintage is a lot of the game happens in who wins the die roll and how well you mulligan.
Right.
If you are not good at those parts of your game, you're gonna hate Vintage. If you're good at those parts of if you're good at specifically mulliganing and understanding what to mulligan for each matchup and how to sideboard, like if you can do the non-gameplay mechanics of Magic very well, Vintage is a very good format for you because it rewards you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Broken interactions, the broken interactions are amazing. Like, but honestly, Vintage is the format for people who are okay with only one person playing Magic.
He's talking Legacy though.
Oh.
But that's part of what makes Magic so interesting, is that there can be so many different types of players all enjoying something different and having them interact with each other. It's kind of ridiculous that the same game is actually so many different games, where a Legacy player can play Magic and have broken interactions, and another Legacy player can be playing a streamlined version of a value deck, and right across the table, people will be playing Magic, but they're playing Commander, and it's just a completely different thing.
I have to answer this phone call from my wife really quick. I will be right back.
I'm pretty sure Terry won that.
I can double check when I open the door.
I almost saw it. And could you have them move their life total just up a little bit? He just asked who won, and I have no idea. I asked him to move the life total, and that's what he did. Definitely don't like playing EDH with random people. Yeah. Well, Commander is, at least my understanding, Commander is more for a play group, right? A group of friends to play, and there's definitely some shops and some places where you can just play with random people, or a play group that will accept random people, and that's cool too. It's not my thing, so I don't play Commander. But it's pretty amazing that it is the same game in some ways. Friday Night Magic here at Paragon, we'll get 30 plus people playing Modern, and we don't have very many people playing Standard, but there's 8 or 10 people that often will play Standard, and then a good 15 people playing Legacy, and then there's another 20 something 30 people playing Commander. And they're all playing the same game, but all at completely different levels and different feels, and getting something completely different out of it. It's pretty ridiculous when you think of the fact that the same game and the same cards are being used, all playing such different things. If you go to a place and somebody's playing poker, everybody's just playing poker, right? There are different versions of poker, sure, but that's not the same. I have a fun deck. One that'll make you wonder what bleach tastes like. Tedious fun. I sometimes am confused. I'll go over and kind of prod our Commander players on Friday nights, because sometimes I don't get it. There's somebody over there who's playing like a stacks type lockdown deck, and nobody else gets to do anything, and I'm just every time it's like, what? Are any of you guys having any fun? You have all these cards that you've poured your heart and soul into to curate and foil out and whatever, and you're not even getting to play them. But they keep coming back and they seem to enjoy it, because that one time they get to go off and they get to win, I guess. All right, we'll stay here and watch Game 2 of Miracles versus Grixis Delver. Because the other match is still sideboarding. Don't tell her that. Hopefully she doesn't go back and watch the stream. What tokens should you get to go with her Legacy deck? So the main one for Vivi's Eldrazi post deck is there is a construct token that Karn, the Planeswalker, makes, and Cats and Cantrips made a construct token. I believe that's available here in store, if not on her website. I'm not sure exactly. I'm not the person to ask on those, but it's a pretty cool construct token. It's just this little like metallic dinosaur dude. I don't think there's another one for Eldrazi Post. I can't think of one. And I don't have any of them right here with me. All right, these players are getting ready. A PC game like Arena, Bear with Two Guns. Is that what you're saying? I see what you did there. Ah, just kidding. Absolutely, Dane. Anybody in chat? Is there another token that I'm missing for Eldrazi and Legacy? I don't think there is. Terry starts off with the Volk, and we still have our life totals making no sense whatsoever right in the middle of the screen. Yeah, but is there a token for any of them other than a construct? That's my point. She's playing Eldrazi Post, yes, but she may tweak her deck, I don't know. 12 post aggro and the middle thing. You enjoyed drafting Legacy playable out from under people who know what real cards are being passed around. Like in Cube. HC Fox, is that what you mean? A Bitter Blossom? Wow. Take that, Corey. That's a pretty strong card against Miracles. This is coming out of his sideboard, obviously. And Terry is being friendly to our stream here, having our life totals make no sense, and his dual lands you see at the bottom of the screen are actually in play. he's not only playing them in front, but he's playing them down and to the side as well. Counterbalance for Corey. I think Terry's actually okay with this. He'd rather not see this counterbalance resolve, but okay, so Terry is the yellow life total and Corey's the blue. Yeah, there we go. Bears on it. I can only think of Karn tokens and then +1/+1 counters. Yeah. And we don't have a Cats and Cantrips. Doesn't make a +1/+1 counter. All right. We've got a 1/1 fairy coming. He took the life for it, but there it is. Okay. And a young pyromancer is going to attempt to resolve. We've got a pause in priority as tokens get passed around. He brought the token out. Okay, there we go. Counterbalance says ponder, so it's going to resolve. One young pyromancer, one fairy for Terry. Corey, on the other hand, is counterbalancing.
Sorry about that. We probably got way more on topic.
We're actually talking about this match here with these very interesting life totals. I asked him to show the life totals, so they're right in the middle of the whole map. And Terry's playing lands in front and down into the side.
Because obviously, Corey's board state doesn't matter until he's winning the game. Anyway,
right,
so.
right. Mentor hanging out next to the phone. Terry's going to tap and brainstorm and get a elemental trigger. He's going to make sure Corey triggers his counterbalance first. This is interesting.
This brainstorm that's being cast?
So I think the reason for this brainstorm, I think it was to be able to try and play a daze. If Corey had responded by brainstorming to trigger counterbalance, then Terry would have been able to respond with the daze. As it is, counterbalance just counters the brainstorm. He gets an elemental out of it though.
Yeah. It's not the worst thing that could happen.
And this ponder can be dazed
Yep. Which I think will happen.
cleanly. You get another token, and it's
He's
just
gonna pick up
efficient use of
Underground
things.
Sea. So he gets a Monastery Mentor token. Okay, Ponder is a sorcery, yeah.
We've got tokens flying all over the place.
People are forgetting to put their tokens in. Goblins. There's goblins. Those aren't elementals. Basically the same thing.
Yeah, ponder's a sorcery. That was okay.
Yeah, it's his turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. The brainstorm was in response to the Monastery Mentor, right?
Yeah. All right. The goblins are now elementals. The fairies are fairies. And the monks are monks. Everybody's up to date.
It's 11:30 there. You're out East Coast?
Not just lands in front. They're lands in front and to the left.
And he's not even Terra anymore. He's Tetri.
It's red and black weenies. Yeah, that's what this deck is. Wasteland kills a tundra, which is a fair exchange of economic value.
Fair exchange of economic value.
Because
Never have I seen something so uncultured on this stream.
red and black weenies or lands in front. Oh, see, a tundra can be destroyed by a wasteland if it's a
Judge promo.
judge promo. Is it
Wasteland.
judge promo? Is that what
That
that
is
is?
a judge promo.
I was trying to figure out which
Yeah,
promo it was.
Tempest did not have foils.
No, I knew that. I knew it was a promo. I wasn't sure which one.
It's a judge.
There's been a lot of them.
There are actually two different judge promo wastelands.
Source to Plowshares is attempting to be brainstormed. Brainstorm on top.
Oh jeez.
Cancels the brainstorm. Terry is definitely on purpose.
Oh, he definitely he plays Lands with Brother on purpose.
He's a horrible human being.
He does drive a Civic, so
Yes, the older one. The one that's more valuable, which is why it can destroy a tundra. If it was like a new printing of Wasteland, it would fail.
so if it's the Modern Masters one,
Yeah.
or Eternal Masters, whichever printing.
Whichever one.
I think it's Eternal Masters or comic or something. I can't remember. It's one of the Master sets. That's why we have Ultimate Masters. That's
Yeah.
why it's ending it.
It's a Masters thing.
Because there's so many Masters.
But they're not ending it. This set is going to sell out, and they're going to stop printing Master sets for a usual amount of time, like a year.
Exactly, yeah. And then they'll print it again next December.
They're stopping printing them for us a year is what they're doing.
Yeah, see, Corey's swinging here, and he's swinging with not just a 2/2 token. He's gonna put
Bam!
4 guys on top of that.
I want to block this monk and kill it.
I'm even sure a duels deck Ghost Quarter kills a Tundra.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't
Nope,
think that
it doesn't
works.
work.
It has to be the original printing.
You can't even target it.
I'm pretty sure it's written on all the cards.
If it's a foil Dissension Ghost Quarter,
okay,
then it can target it.
Yeah.
But it fizzles sometimes.
yeah, fizzles sometimes.
The game would be so
Depending
much more
on
interesting
how-
if there was like a random element to it. Nope. Your card wasn't expensive enough.
you have expense modifiers on all your cards.
You think Terry won that exchange? I missed what the actual exchange was. What? The monk is still alive.
So the Monastery Mentor is going to die to 4 1/1s that he essentially got for free. And Corey is using his surgical extraction to get rid of something. It's going to be Brainstorm, looks like.
Yeah, the exchange is still exchanging.
Yeah, there still could be something cast by Corey at this point.
Whoa, Mentor is like Young Pyromancer plus Bitter Blossom in one card except better.
Yes. Yes.
Nope.
It is a 4/4 currently. And if there's a cantrip, it will be a 5/5. You're right. There is a Brainstorm on top of Corey's deck. That doesn't mean that Messi has anything. He could have a Snapcaster for the surgical, which I think is what he's going to do.
And yet it still was probably the right play, right?
No.
It
Now
works.
they're going to trade. And he's going to take 3 from the dudes. Terry's job description is in his title. In his title or in his name? Life total needs to change. Yeah, it looks like they're updated to 16 to 16. I think trading Mentor
Mhm.
4 tokens is good because he still has 3 months. You're right. And Terry's playing with 2 cards, a Ponder, and then this Polluted Bell
Yeah.
you just put down.
Yep. It was a safe play. And yet it was still the only thing Terry could do. It was the correct play to quad block there, right? Prowess is a totally fair mechanic that has
Has no implications
yeah,
on how they
yeah.
like. Cons of Tarkir is actively one of the like terrible blocks for Magic the Gathering.
Because who wants to make a deck that's entirely cantrips? Oh, I think we need another cantrip here. Let's put a 2-mana draw 1 card cantrip into my deck that maybe later will draw me more than 1 card.
Mhm.
Which cantrips should we take out? Oh, none of them. Let's just leave them all.
Just put all the cantrips.
Yeah.
Oh, but we need a win con, so let's just play 2 of them. Let's just play 2 win cons.
Prowess is fair. Giving prowess to these tokens. Yeah. The tokens could not have prowess. That would be more fair. You're right. But miracles could be renamed, right? It's just cantrip.
Sword Splash has gain 1, lose 3.
Bitter Blossom never got a chance to really take over. The monk came down too early. It was really that extra land that Corey had that prevented the monk from being dazed, right?
Yeah.
There certainly could have been something else. Daze could have been counterbalanced, or
That was a very-
Corey could have protected it a different way, but that made the difference.
One of the things that we talked about on Saturday, I'm not sure you guys talked about it, but I talked about it with someone else. The reason that Corey can be so good with his deck is he's very sensitive to when a Monastery Mentor should hit play. His timing is pretty good. Now, I mean, it's not perfect, but like Corey's got a very good sense of how to play a control deck like this.
Because a miracle could just be drawing your one-off. The miracle's idea, the whole idea of a miracle is that it would happen to be on top of your library, and so you win, right? But the entire deck, all it does is break that entirely down, so there is no
That's
miracle.
funny. Miracle Rogue is a Hearthstone deck that wins by chaining cantrips for a miracle turn.
Interesting.
Chaining cantrips is a strong way to play a lot of different games. Yeah. And now Terry's going to scoop it up because his opponent has 1 planes in play. I went out and asked Terry who won that match, and he's like, yeah, I scooped because he had 1 planes in play. And I'm like, I'm just confirming. You don't have to be facetious.
Here's our other match.
I think Vivi won it,
I think so.
just based on what they're doing and or not doing.
So we got to see another game here.
Slam back to basics. Don't help Miracles players. Float that tree dot. Counter a true nemesis.
Cantrip.
I'm going to confirm that that is what happened
Cantrip.
for Vivi and Ellen.
Okay. Cantrip.
Assuming based on how you guys were not playing Magic, and we went back after
You got to slam a pirate. So it's kind of weird. You like found a pillar that was statically on fire, and you smashed somebody's face with it. I also had double wrap. I'm ready. Also on the topic of what Mentor is.
A Magic card that is very restricted in Vintage because it's stupid how Prowess works with Moxen and Paradoxical Outcome.
In the space of miracles, Mentor is the empty the warrens on a stick.
That's how you say hi in Canada. What's how you say hi in Canada? No, just no.
You smash a miracles player in the face with a pyrostatic pillar.
That's about the same. No,
That's how you say hi.
that's how you say hi.
Yeah, but you apologize after, so it's okay.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
There was just this pillar thing that was
Have you
statically
seen-
charged with fire. So I
There's
needed-
this show called Letterkenny. Have you heard of it? It is about a place in Calgary, Canada,
Okay.
called Letterkenny, a little city. It's
Okay.
it's essentially like the Oklahoma of
Canada. Yeah.
except colder.
Okay.
And instead of being like football players, they're like hockey players.
Right.
Because it's Canada.
That makes sense.
But you should look up Letterkenny because it's really funny. You haven't watched Letterkenny? Too redneck for you? I mean, it's funny because they're like very educated rednecks, which is like they have this like kind of like running gag where they like alliterate and they'll like go off and just like alliterate on things and just like have like a whole descriptive thing of like alliterations. And then they talk. There's one where they're talking about sushis and sashimis, and the guy's like, "I don't think you need S's on that."
Whoa.
Hockey
How
is greater
about-
than football.
I've seen.
I would say that lacrosse is greater than both of them, but I'm biased.
There's a movie called Yoga Hosers.
Okay,
Is that what it's called?
I
It's a
don't know.
Kevin Smith movie.
I haven't seen it.
Some teenage girls in Canada.
Yoga
It was
hosers.
a Sundance movie I saw here. It was absolutely horrible and hilarious because of how horrible it was. But
You haven't? No, Letterkenny is in Canada. It's in like middle of nowhere, like middle province of Canada, middle of nowhere, like Alberta, Canada. Right? Calgary's in Alberta.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Uh-huh.
like a podunk town outside of Calgary, and Calgary's like a big city
pretty much north of
in
here.
Alberta. It's like pretty much just straight north. They have lacrosse in Utah? Yes, actually. The Harvard coach, the Harvard coach went to Denver, and then they started doing more lacrosse in Utah. We actually have in the Intermountain West, Bountiful and Brighton are actually relatively competitive teams, and then BYU's men's lacrosse team is the Mountain Conference champion like 5 years in a row or something. Like BYU is actually a really good lacrosse team. But yeah, no, I was a a goalie. I wanted to be a hockey player. I was a goalie in lacrosse in high school. Manitoba and Saskatchewan. Yeah, you're right. Alberta is a little less empty. Alberta actually has like things that people recognize in the United States. Saskatchewan we only know because it's the name Saskatchewan.
I think Terry is cheating, actively cheating. He's opening Twitch while being streamed on Twitch.
Okay, sure.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
All you have to do after saying you like lacrosse is wait for Duke grads to chime in. Me too. It was which one was it? I want to say it was the Duke team that was totally acquitted.
Yeah, after being completely punished.
Yeah, like they all got punished. The coach got fired. Like everything happened, and then like the entire team got acquitted, and the woman actually got charged with like false accusations and libel and stuff.
There's too many things to keep track of and follow.
Cross means stick in French, as far as I know, but I can understand how it's slang for other things. I speak that much French.
Terry only has a wasteland, so he's lost this game. We could just go on to round 4.
Yeah. Why would you keep a hand with only waste? Come on, Terry. You know better.
Not sure why. Ouch.
And he was on the play too. Jeez.
I mean, he mulled once, right?
Did he mold once? I wasn't paying that much attention.
Corey's gonna play cantrips because this deck is actually
because Corey
cantrips.
Yep. Waste on your opponent. HC Fox with the critical plays. Display dominance. No. I agree, but it's definitely slang. It's like in Taiwan. If you say that you're taking an airplane, you could be talking about other things. Not even kidding.
You can't bring up like in Taiwan metaphors. Nobody knows if you're being honest or not, or making things up. Nobody knows.
Hey, I have
everybody
Taiwanese
in chat
friends
just
that
was
every
like,
once in
"Oh
a while.
yeah, just like that, just like in Taiwan when you said that." Nobody knows. I have Taiwanese friends who sometimes
Taiwanese
watch.
friends that sometimes watch.
All right, how many people in chat right now are
You have to
Brian's
waste on the
Taiwanese
fetch for
friends?
dominance. Carrion Lynch has got it. Like in Taiwan, Brian the Snob. I've been capped so many times this stream. Like Captain QC is like on a Kappa fit right now.
That makes sense.
Game on.
All right, counterbalance successfully whiffed, which means Terry is now in the lead.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's how
I'm
it
keeping
works.
score, guys. Don't worry, I've got it.
Advantage meter Terry. The Duke lacrosse team was vindicated. The prosecutor in that case ended up being fired and debarred because he knew it wasn't something that actually happened but continued for his own. Yeah, that whole Duke thing was, that was a clusterfuss. Because that was happening. I think that happened right before I started playing lacrosse. And then I started playing lacrosse, and my parents were like, "But what about this thing?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it.
It's on the other side
I'm
of the
not a
country
rapist."
and doesn't matter. Yeah. All right, young pyromancer. If it resolves,
You don't think you know how advantages?
I know how they work, right?
Bryce has every idea.
Watch, guys. Counterbalance failed twice in a row. Terry obviously in the lead.
10 out of 10.
Yep.
Would,
He is winning all
would
of the
advantage
interactions
meter
so
again.
far.
All the important
Yeah,
interactions.
the advantage. Wait, this way. I can't do it. It's way
I
too
love how
complex.
Corey just put the phone in the middle of the thing. And now it's actually just harder to tell who is who.
Terry's yellow, Corey's blue. Keep up.
I've surmised that much at this point. Keep up, you're right.
And Terry has won all of the interactions so far in this game. Uh oh. Interaction number 3.
Just sword splashes.
Sword
It's
splashes.
legacy time. Yeah, it is, Kurt. Rufio. Make sure you guys follow him too. He does a lot of good stuff in Modern. Hey, what should I play in Modern at the GP this weekend, or should I even play in the main event of the GP?
So that Spell Pierce wasn't going to do anything, and so it's getting pitched to Force of Will. Corey's going
All
to
you know
attempt
is
to
that
blind
people
flip
running
with Force
around
of
with
Will.
sticks hitting each other are barbarians. So if they're skating around with sticks hitting each other, they're not barbarians. Is that what you're trying to say?
Correct.
This doesn't seem very great here.
Pyroblast on Force of Will. Brainstorm in response to Pyroblast. We have...
I will not play Lantern Control. I'm sorry. I do not hate myself that much.
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea.
Like Humans or Tron. Spirit's good too. I have experience with Tron, but I don't want to play Tron. Like green black mid range maybe, or maybe I'll just play Legacy side events.
Or something with
They're barbaric ice
with-
dancers.
with Phoenix in it. Play that.
Yeah, I could buy Phoenixes and do that. Or punching someone's teeth out. Yeah. See, punching people's teeth out is totally.
I think I would probably play something with Phoenix if I was going to play.
Dude, hockey is a great sport to watch.
All right, so Counterbalance whiffed yet again. That's 3 times that Terry is
Oppertron,
winning.
actually.
He's pretty much won the game at this point, guys.
Yeah, Counterbalance has actively just not even been a non-interactive card.
Yeah. Well, it has because Terry's won all of the interactions.
Play a non-graveyard deck because people expect Phoenix. Okay, I can agree with that.
I'm not sure what this fetches.
The goon will come deal with it.
Terry, Corey has a
Dude, goons in hockey are starting to disappear. Carrion Lich.
Terry or Corey's going to disrupt here, right? I'm not sure why he's fetching first though. I guess just to.
I mean, he showed disrupts, right?
He doesn't want to draw the card off that he saw,
Yeah.
right? That's why. Okay.
That's why he fetched.
Here's
He
the
showed it.
disrupt. Now Corey has won 1 interaction.
Okay. Now Force of Will on.
All these things go away. Stuff happens. There was 2 tokens created.
So the brainstorm was in response to the Pyroblast. The Pyroblast was on the Force of Will. The Force of Will was trying to hit this sort of splash.
Yeah, everybody put that at home, right? There's going to be a test. If you guys,
There will be a test.
Yeah.
Make sure you remember every single stack that's ever been created in this specific game.
yep, that's
You have to
no,
do
just
them in
that
order.
one, just that one, just
Oh,
that
okay.
stack.
Okay. I could play Storm.
He's playing Force
Storm
Spike, pretty
Water.
much. Yes, he's playing.
He's playing Force Spike with a draw a card on it.
Yep,
It's better than Force Spike.
it is better actually.
Delver. Yeah, Fox, I'm surprised that I've never played a deck of yours that has disrupted it. I've never played a version of your decks that has disrupt.
Should Delver decks start playing Disrupt? Probably not.
I don't think it's as good as Days is. It's a good card, but still not as good as Days is. How do you feel about Pawns in Modern right now? I'm going to say that it's mediocre. I don't think it's the strongest thing you can be playing, but I don't think it's the weakest thing you can be playing.
Yeah, you can beat KCI, right?
Yeah.
And Tron.
Yeah.
And you can lose to other decks.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
you
you
go.
can do that. Exactly that. I mean, Tron is a big part of the metagame, but like,
Yeah.
meh. I don't know what our modern players.
I think
would say about
KCI
that.
should go away. I think it should just not exist. That'd be all right.
Ancient Stirring should be banned. So should Fatal Suiting, but who's counting?
Do you think Faithless Looting should be banned? I think
Oh,
Ancient Stirrings is a
Ancient
bigger
Stirrings
problem
is-
than Faithless Looting.
It's ridiculous, but Fatal Suiting is also really bad for the format. I mean, as far as like if you don't want turn 1 combo decks.
Yeah, but looting can be banned or it can be hated, right?
The day you
Sideboard
lose
hated.
to Ponza on KCI, you put
Ancient Stirrings and Mox Opal should be banned. I'd like that.
I think that a combination of Ancient Stirrings and any of the cards that go with it should be banned.
nerf.
Lots of
KCI
nerf
completely.
plus.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, this has actually kind of turned into a game where Terry's been able to land a couple things, and Corey has whiffed so many times on his counterbalance.
Yeah, I didn't say you were gonna always beat KCI. I just said you could beat KCI. Right? KCI is definitely has the advantage.
I think people that want KCI banned are just butthurt for real. I don't think KCI itself needs to be banned. I just think that there are cards in the format that are really warping because they're like as good as Brainstorm, but you can't even play preordained. Like, all combo sucks. This format sucks. Me.
What are you afraid to face when you sleeve up KCI?
Play Infect. Okay, maybe Stony Silence. Yeah, maybe Stony Silence.
That probably is one thing.
But like, they play enough like enchantment hate.
You could still get through it.
Yeah, because they're literally not punished for the, they're not punished for the land base that they have to play. Like KCI is just like cool.
I don't know the tiers in Modern, unfortunately. I wish I could tell you.
KCI and Lantern are up pretty high, just depending on how much graveyard hate there is in the format. Like, the thing that KCI is not great against is like a Jeskai control deck that's playing Rest in Peace and stuff.
Oh, I just personally dislike the concept of what KCI does. As it doesn't feel like Magic to me. It's kind of like Lantern Control. It's the same idea, right? Is Lantern Control, is that person playing Magic? And if they are playing Magic, are they letting their opponent play any sort of Magic whatsoever? Doesn't really feel like it to me.
Yeah.
I'd rather lose to a turn 2, put 10 power on the board, and I don't know, it feels more like
See you, Fox.
Thanks for joining us.
Good games and good night. Infect is just as bad as KCI.
And I know that's just
Modern's cancer. Magic's cancer.
Opinion,
Don't
right?
play Magic.
Yeah, that's just my own personal opinion. I similarly in Legacy I dislike Gamble and Loam as a concept.
If anything, decks like Lantern Control and KCI are the epitome of what makes MTG unique in terms of mechanical interaction and deck building. I think that's probably more of a statement for me because I was the one that was saying that combo and things like that were. Yeah, I mean, like, it's cool.
Sure,
it's cool that there are alternative win cons.
I don't disagree with you, Bear. I just personally dislike things that don't feel like Magic to me. So it's a very biased view, right?
But very visceral.
Yeah. I would rather not play. If my opponent is playing Lantern, I'd rather not play them. I'd probably just be like, hey, you know what? You got this one. Good job. Congratulations. I'd rather not play this match.
I had a win-in against Lantern for a top 8, and I won it.
Yeah, and I've beat
And
Lantern before too, but I don't enjoy doing it. It's not a fun time.
It takes a lot of mental energy.
Well,
it's like playing against Paul when he's playing Lance.
Kind of.
Kind of.
But at least
I
like
enjoy
Magic.
playing against him more than I enjoy playing against Lantern.
Yeah.
I enjoy playing against Paul, but he's just like I picked up his lands deck and like I was just like, how does this deck lose ever? Like I just like mana bonded people and all these things. Like some days you just have it all.
Yeah.
And lands kind of does that, right? It's a different axis of Magic, where it's like it's very mentally taxing to play against that sort of thing. And like I actually really enjoy playing against Paul, but it's mentally taxing. And his deck specifically is one of the few decks that's very mentally taxing for me to play against as a food chain player.
And sometimes it's frustrating to get locked out and think that there is potentially a way,
and just never find it.
But it takes a long time to find out you never got there or whatever, and that can be frustrating in Magic as well. But it's a little bit. Hey, look, monks attack.
Monks attack. There's three factions are better at balancing each other out. Yeah, during the top area, just give games miracle.
Here's a daze from Terry. So this game was over when Terry never drew a land.
Basically.
And it just took this long to finally finish it.
Basically.
But they finished it.
Yeah.
Corey wins because he drew lands and Terry did not.
Counterbalance being taken out would have, I think it makes the format better because then Doomsday and stuff still play.
I think Terminus is probably a card that should be gone just based off of
Terminus leaves then
a 1-mana wrath effect that doesn't even if it said destroy, that would actually be more fair. Yeah. Because then you couldn't just Terminus your Reanimator opponent, right? Like there would be a little bit more balance to the card.
Yeah,
it just
you
does
can't just terminus
everything
the-
you want in a
Can't
cantrip
just
deck.
terminus the
Yeah.
the what's it?
Counterbalance is
Opponent.
counterbalance is frustrating, and counterbalance on top was frustrating.
Yeah.
But terminus is the card that makes this deck function, right?
Yeah.
We've seen Miracles decks without counterbalance, and they work just fine. Now it's down
Counterbalance
to
is the main offender for time. I agree.
yeah.
But as far as like it being on top of the format, I think terminus is the real issue.
These guys are done, right?
Yeah, they're done.
They've been done for a while.
I'll go see what the
Timeline is if we've got 5 minutes or more.
Just back
I'll bring someone
here.
back and we can have a chat.
Ooh, we can chat with
We have a
somebody.
fireside.
We just jumped all over all of the different topics that are possibly to jump over, and when you get Brian in here going, he can jump from one topic to another, just like that. So we're gonna keep Vivi and Corey on camera. Corey 1, Vivi 1, but we were planning on keeping them on camera anyway. And Reanimator is definitely not a fair deck. I agree. I think that Black Red Reanimator is a really interesting deck in Legacy because I could be wrong, but I think it would actually win a higher percentage matchup than just about any other deck in Legacy. But I think most Legacy players would rather not play Black Red Reanimator. I think they've tried it out and they've gotten kind of bored doing it. It's just kind of the same thing every time. It's not enough for them. That's just my own take on it again. And sure, if everybody was playing Black Red Reanimator, then every sideboard in the world would be filled with hate and it would get hated out. But I'm surprised more people don't play it based off of how powerful it is. And I think the reason that is because it kind of gets old. You either have done it or you didn't do it. And so if you want to go win a tournament, sure, Black Red Reanimator. But if you want to have fun on a Tuesday night or a Friday night, that's probably not the deck you're bringing. Yeah, and some people, I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying I'm surprised that more people don't play it based off of the idea of in Magic you play the best deck, right? People who net deck, who want to just win, that's the argument. And in Legacy, I don't think that's necessarily the case. Sure, there's definitely the bandwagon of, oh, I'm going to play Grixis Delver because it's the best deck, and suddenly a whole bunch of people pick it up. But that's a challenge to play, and people enjoy trying to learn that and figure it out. Black Red Reanimator, I think, is interesting in that fewer people play it. I hope that makes sense. Please let me flow and treat Terminus on top for free again. That's so much better than Counterbalance. There's an angel that makes counterplay kind of hard. In Black Red Reanimator, you mean? Yes. In a lot of ways, that feels like the epitome of a combo deck. You get to win the game before it even starts, often. Alright. We don't have players seated just yet for round 4. Oh, Iona. For Chancellor. Chancellor messes up games once that got added to the deck. Chancellor of the Annex. The once dollar card. Well, I've got you guys here, and we got no magic to show you for a moment. So I'm gonna do the thing where I show you an altar or two. So I started doing altars about a year ago, I guess, and it was just kind of a fun thing that I was doing on the side, and then slowly over time people were like, hey, I'd like something like that. So I thought, why not? I'll do some altars myself and commission them. So I've got a Facebook page. It's just facebook.com/feltaltars, and it looks like this. And This is one I did most recently. It's a Swords to Plowshares. I like to, I definitely do commissions, but I also like to just play with ideas. Pattern that was created with fractals, digital fractal pattern, and thought, hey, what would this maybe look like? Not actually a huge show. Yeah, I could do something like this. But the main thing I've done over time, and I guess what I've sort of become known for in the Altar world, is these, I call them these arcane circles. And the idea here was that it's fun to kind of alter a card and make them unique and yet still have them probably be tournament playable, where I'm adding to or taking some element of the art and emphasizing it so you can still see them. How much do I charge? Somewhere between $65 for one card up to somewhere around $200 for a playset. That's kind of a general thing. It depends on the card. These are more. Some cards are different, are a little bit higher. Some that are a little bit more simple or can be less. I've actually got a couple cards still for sale. I have these foil Swiss Spears that I did for myself for Seattle, and I stopped playing Blue Red Delver. So if somebody really wants them, these are really cool. I've got a video on the page that shows the foiling, and I airbrushed these off of a pattern I created, so they're almost identical, which is kind of fun. It's been fun to mess around with a lot of different ideas. I had a Reanimator player commission me all this similar pattern onto foils. I had, of course, I've told some of you guys in chat about the player who had me do Lion's Eye Diamonds and a couple other cards for his Belcher deck. I was working on a Storm deck for a while. That's where these guys went in. This is kind of where the Arcane Circle style started. And they turned out kind of fun, right? Messing with the border and the line work. And so it still looks much like a Magic card, but pops and is unique. This was one of my first cards from Storm. I really liked the way this one worked with the existing art and made it look like it belonged in a way. But gives us something to chat about while we're waiting between rounds here, right? There's a lot of other ideas that I've had that I haven't had time to actually mess with. The majority of people have seen something like this Ponder and went, hey, that's pretty sweet. Can I get something like that on my Legacy card? And I guess in the Altar world, there isn't a heck of a lot of people that are doing something like that specifically. I've seen a lot of altered decks where they've done border extensions for Legacy, because again, tournament playable, art needs to be recognizable, but not a lot of stuff like this. I've tried to do some really abstract stuff, mess around with Lingering Souls and some other cards that way, or some very different things in Commander, which, if you like that type of thing. But I keep coming back to this style of the Arcane Circles. I like whatever this ended up being. I like the way this worked, where the art gets pushed to the side because of the focus and something else is happening. And I haven't had a lot of time to play with that. For a while I was doing Commander cards, and I kind of prefer doing Legacy cards actually, because doing 4 of them at once, my style allows it to be replicated a lot pretty easily. And so doing a playset is actually a more efficient use of time than doing just one-ofs, because I spend so much time doing the digital mock-up and then only creating one card. You can imagine, even for $65, the amount of time that it takes to not only make the actual altar but do the mock-ups isn't really worth it. But if you guys are interested, if anybody ever is interested in chat, it's been fun to do some for people that watch the stream, and hopefully we'll get some actual, here we go. We got some players seated. And we've got Corey on the left. These guys, oh, I was a little slow. And who do we have on our right? This is Stockton playing some Death Shadow. Let's get his name up there. There we go. I don't know why we get the tiny URLs in our restream. You do miniature paintings, and at times, and you know what I mean? Yeah, if you spend a lot of time on just one. Sure. All right, so here we are. We're trying to resolve a reanimate, probably onto this Swamp Walker, which is a creature, but it's not as big a deal as against other decks that have swamps. The Street Wraith comes in. Do you have stuff that took like 20 hours for like one miniature? Yeah.
Did you notice that this is the same matchup? The same like player, 4 players from the very first round, but just
switch. That's great. I didn't actually see where our match is. Vivi versus Zach. Cool. Well, that'll happen when we have this number of players in 4 rounds, right? So our other match actually might be a little bit more interesting, but we'll hang out here for a minute.
Maybe. I don't know. It's fun to watch 3/4 beat down.
Right?
So sculpting work? Paint miniatures? What?
Yeah, I was just talking about altars for a minute.
Oh, okay.
And talking about how doing a single commander card isn't really worth it for me as opposed to doing a complete playset because my style is repeatable.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I could get more altars people commissioning cards if I did more commanders, but it's just a lot of time.
Well, and I think one of the things that you'd want even for, for repeatability is to get several cards out of a commander deck, even if it's like individuals, but if you have like a common theme through them, it's a lot easier to do.
Right. And I've had people interested in that idea, and so I've spent a lot of time starting to mock up stuff, and then nothing comes of it, and it's like, wow, I just spent 10 hours mocking up digital cards for you, and you wanted one card. Suddenly not worth it. Yeah. So I've just kind of gone away from doing commander stuff because of that. But yeah, if somebody wanted several cards from a deck, like 10 cards at a time, then it'd be worth it.
I mean, it certainly lends itself more. Your style lends itself much more to that. Get that brainstorm out there. Okay. So he brainstormed. I wasn't paying attention to what he kind of got rid of with that brainstorm. But it looks like now he's going for disruption. And then he's going to probably try and play another threat like a Gurmag Angler or something.
He's dropping down precipitously low in life total here, as shadow players like to do.
Yeah. Well, I saw a Delver. There's a Delver in his hand, so he might be setting that up. I guess he's trying to like get a counterspell out of Corey's hand.
Sure. Thoughtseize is pretty much the best card in the deck. It does everything you want. He got a counterspell out of his hand.
Exactly. Didn't even have to pay 2 life.
Nope.
Which is actually probably the mode that's actually, better for him. This means that he gets to play a Death Shadow.
Ooh, okay.
I thought that he was going to be playing a Delver of Secrets.
This is a nice little 6/6 right now for 1 mana. And a whole bunch of red ink all over it.
Didn't even have to delve. That is a Howard Lyon signature.
With some embellishments.
Yeah. He's a fan of those embellishments. Then they're embellishments. Right there.
Isn't there like drops of blood pretty much that he added on? Okay.
Yeah, so he did ink splatters that look like drops of blood.
Yeah. There's a disrupt in Corey's hand. He's definitely winning.
Well, he has a Source of Plowshares also right there, but needs a white source to make that useful.
Source of Plowshares is kind of dumb.
Okay, put a Delver and some other cards on top. Got it.
When you're playing Death Shadow. It's kind of not what
like
you
a 2 for 1 and then some.
Yeah. And future ones as well.
Okay.
There's a white source.
His white source.
It's kind of a plain white source. Not really a lot going on. Yeah.
Are you trying to beat the Teferrari comment from earlier?
I can't do it, so I'm just going to try.
So you're just going to try?
Yeah.
You can't beat it, so you're going to try?
I'm just going to try.
I'm
not actually going to beat it. I'm just going to try.
Oh, okay. The Teferrari.
Stockton just went to negative life, and he's back up to positive 13.
Jeez.
So that's kind of a weird choice, but I think it makes sense. And this is what you'd want to do if you're the Miracles player is you'd want to Swords the other creature and have the Death Shadow die because he jumps up to 13 life. but the math didn't work out for that. So
this also means though that he now has to fight his way back into
right, exactly.
Another Death Shadow. Like he can't just play another one and get it down there.
The way the clock would have worked is if the Death Shadow had lived there, it still would have been a 3/3, and which is the same threat as this Street Wraith is now, and Stockton easily could have made it bigger.
Yep.
There's a bunch of you in chat right now, so I'm going to give you the usual this time of the night. Give us a follow if you haven't already. We go live.
You can even unfollow and refollow,
Ooh,
and Terry may give you a personal phone call.
Don't do that. We've had we go
during the 24-hour stream, 2 a.m. Terry's going to be on, and I'll be like,
nope, no phone calls.
This is where you make personal phone calls.
We go live just like this, pretty much every single Tuesday night, showing you Paper Legacy. We also do Paper Modern on most Friday nights, and then we have a couple big tournaments coming up at the end of the year,
and a 24-hour stream for New Year's.
Big long 24-hour fun end of year stream. Primarily showing like Magic Online in Legacy.
Yeah, it's primarily going to be Magic Online and Legacy. We'll definitely do a lot more of like just random chatting about different things going on in Magic and the world.
And if you don't want to give us a follow, you don't have to.
That reminds me, Terry.
We won't make you.
Nate, do it again because that. Oh, there it is, the Honda Civic driver.
But that way you can see when we go live and join us more often.
Delver, let's see. He's just nice. I even have one now. Nate, I've got one. Also, I really enjoyed the cast with you and Zach this last week where you talked about Dega and some of the things going on. It was really fun.
When they came in here or on his
do exclamation point Brian on his podcast. Also on the stream. The stream was actually really good. I went back and watched a lot of it. I didn't watch the very top of it, but
we had some really fun interactive Magic. It was a good.
I basically said that we should unban Cobblade in Modern, and Captain QC thought that I was a sinner or something.
Council's Judgment on the Street Wraith.
Yep, Council's Judgment, we got the Street Wraith, and this Brainstorm makes it so that the Delver of Secrets flips.
It literally flipped.
Hola, hey, Brown. Thank you for the follow.
He did the thing.
He did.
Well done.
Yeah, he was referencing my Bird's Tribal deck. Okay, yeah. Referencing Food Chain. When I was playing it as the Flying Circus.
Ponder from Stockton. It is amazing how when you're traveling and hunger sets in, it can be like a chore.
Dude, especially this late at night. Well, so let me tell you that when you don't get hungry and you just get empty and you're like, I just need food in me, like what's going to work? And then you're like, okay, this is all carbohydrates. I can't eat that. It sucks.
This is kind of like the thing where they say things in a different part of the world and yeah, we don't know what you're talking about.
In Taiwan.
I often will only eat carbohydrates and it's just fine.
I can't.
So yeah, I'm like really hungry, pasta.
Yeah.
That works.
That's
most people. That's fine.
I'll like when I go out to like meals with people, like I'll be like, yeah, I'll order like a mac and cheese or something, and it's mostly because of the protein in the cheese.
Sure.
Because I can't do many other types of protein, but yeah, 7-Eleven pizza. Oh.
What is a 7-Eleven pizza? Oh, pizza at 7-Eleven? That's a thing?
It's also like taquitos at 7-Eleven.
That's scary. Don't do that.
Hey, in Taiwan, actually eating food from 7-Eleven is
guys. He said it again.
Legit.
He said it again. Hey, in Taiwan,
dude, convenience stores. Convenience stores are better than most restaurants. Who works
at a convenience store in Taiwan?
My brother-in-law actually works at for a convenience store.
Indians immigrate to Taiwan to work in convenience stores?
No.
That's too bad.
You actually don't find very many immigrants working convenience stores in Taiwan because it's actually a very well-paid job because of how frequent they are.
I don't mean to offend anybody. I just thought that'd be funny if it was.
There are a lot of immigrants that work at convenience stores here in America.
Is this a days and a days?
Yes, it looks like double days.
Double days.
He's doubling down on the days town. I don't know.
There's a 7-Eleven next to the store, and they definitely have pizza. I've eaten it. Ah!
But in Taiwan, you don't get pizza. You get like fried rice and things, and like omelet rice. And like
that'd
stuff
be cool.
Like that.
Could you have fried rice at a convenience store in Utah?
In California, they have it. They actually have a lot of the same stuff.
That'd be convenient. like how I gave the whole, hey, everybody give us a follow, and
Wait,
one
one.
person,
No, it's 'cause
person,
everyone else already
is
follows
every
us.
60 plus people already following us.
Probably. We have a lot of followers.
I'm proud of you all. Carrie and Lich, thanks for joining us and smashing your face with cat paws throughout the night.
He's giving us the cat rectum.
Because that's what you do when you say goodnight.
Yeah. That's how cats say goodnight, at least.
Do we have sponsored content creators? Is that a thing that we still have? MTG Bot seems to think so.
You're technically still one of our sponsored content creators.
I
And we still, I think the only podcast that Paragon City Games still sponsors is Eternal Girls right now. Because we're no longer sponsoring Ship of Hot Sauce. And end that one. We're going to end all of our team sponsorships coming up.
What was the first one? Way back when we first started streaming?
MTG Pro Tutor. Kitchen Table Magic.
Kitchen Table. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he actually canceled his show,
Yeah.
so he's no longer taking sponsorship. And then a couple other things. We've had a lot of different things. So
Corey's down to 4 life, everybody.
but our exclusive work with Leia is coming to an end at the end of this year, so we'll be. A lot of our sponsor stuff is kind of going the way of all the Earth, and we're kind of revamping it. We may be relaunching, rebranding some of our stuff. So that may be a thing that we see next year.
Can you give a hint as what you mean when you say rebranding something?
We may no longer be Paragon City Games. We may be called something else.
Interesting.
Potentially.
I noticed.
Just looking at things.
I'll bring that up later.
Okay.
This Disrupt is trying to make this reanimate cost 1 more. I think that's something Stockton can succeed in paying. Corey still gets to draw a card, and Shadow might
Gets accumulated knowledge.
might happen.
Let's draw 1.
AK draws 1, just where you want AK to be at this stage of the game.
Okay.
And reanimate resolves.
It's a 4/4 Death Shadow.
Conveniently the correct size to win the game.
Conveniently, exactly what we need.
Exactsies are perfect. It makes everybody happy. Especially control players, because they're control.
Yep.
Right. Corey draws not a terminus. He has a land, and a monk. All right. Is that what that third card is?
And land,
Yeah.
Monastery Mentor.
So there's not
land,
really anything
Monastery
to think
Mentor.
about here.
You just play your 2/2, right?
Yeah.
And
I
then
guess
block the 4/4 and
you-
hope he doesn't like.
Maybe show that you're thinking about a different line, as if you might have a different line, but
Okay, Stockton's gonna fetch and shock likely. Put
he
himself
doesn't
down to
actually
6.
need to, does he? He can just. He doesn't need to shock himself. Doesn't really accomplish
Doesn't need
anything.
to, no. He goes down to 8 though. So
If Corey had exactly a cantrip in hand, and he was able to chain cantrips to make Mentor bigger than a 4/4, that'd be one thing. But he
is
just got
Blue Black Delver better than Sultai Delver with Sylvan Library, or just better on budget depending on rules? Yeah, Blue Black Delver only exists to save money.
Sultai is just better. Is that correct?
If you're gonna just play, if you're not gonna play red and you are trying, because Sultai is actually very good because you get Abrupt Decay and Assassin's Trophy.
So here's our backup match, which looks to be over. Looks like they're de-sideboarding. It easily could have gone either way. Turbodepths can win very quickly, and so can Eldrazi Post.
Sultai, so Sultai Death Shadow, if you're talking about Sultai Death Shadow versus Blue Black Death Shadow, Blue Black Death Shadow is much better than Sultai Death Shadow. It's just less clunky. It's very much more focused.
The question was Sultai Delver.
Did Leovold
versus
fall out of
the
fashion
Black
in Legacy?
Delver, I'm
Yes. Leovold is relatively out of fashion in Legacy. There are a couple decks playing it, but not even Food Chain's playing it right now. Not at least not any Food Chain players that have
You're doing the thing again.
gotten on MTG Goldfish.
When you're asking about Legacy as a whole, most people don't really. They're not exactly asking about Food Chain. Did you know that? It's not like
The only deck in Legacy is Food Chain. I don't know of any other deck that exists in this format.
Soul Pie Thelver. Soul
There are no soul
Thai?
lands in Thai language that I know of. My blue black Death Shadows button splash either green or red. There isn't that blue black is better than any of the splashes. Is that blue black is such a focused strategy. You need so many cards that can whittle down your own life total so that you can have such a big thing. Like, you need to be playing essentially like Canadian Thresh. Like, Canadian Thresh is like barely green or barely red. Sorry, it just has lightning bolts.
Right.
Yeah, but it plays lightning bolts just so it can have a finisher.
Yep.
Things like that.
So you want everything in your deck to specifically be either disrupting your opponent or
Life loss.
hurting your own life, so that you can put out a really a really large Death Shadow, right?
Yeah.
And anything else that does something different from a different color.
Yeah. Despite
isn't
those
doing
cards objectively being stronger than some of the things you're doing, the synergy of the deck is what's so important.
Right.
And so because black lends so naturally to it, and blue gives you the cantrips and force of will and daze and all sorts of things like that, right? The disruption. That's why it's blue, black, and I think Sylvan Library is pretty good at all of the above, but it's so slow. And Death Shadow plays like what, 19 or 18 lands, and 4 of those are wastelands. Like, you're not trying to have 2 lands in play on turn 2. You're trying to have your opponent at 0 lands and you at 1 lands on turn 2.
Yeah. If Stockton could sideboard in a Sylvan Library in this matchup, he probably would.
Yes,
right?
Certainly.
But
I don't think it gives you enough in
it'd
other
be
matchups.
just this matchup. Yeah.
Like, Corey's probably someone better to speak to this, because he actually used to play Sultai Death Shadow. He played it for a little while. And he said, no, I'd just rather be playing blue-black, because he said that Bitter Blossom is a card in black that isn't seeing very much play in Death Shadow. Just because of how much synergy the deck needs to the very specific cards that it's playing. Like, the deck is kind of fragile if it doesn't see the right stuff.
Yeah, and I don't think you want Bitter Blossom in this deck either. I don't think that's the way to.
It's not fast
way to go. Yeah, you want to bring in specifically cards that
you want to be
miracles.
playing things that are controlling that you can control your descent. You're basically riding a jetpack.
Yeah. There you go.
A rocket fuel jetpack, and it's going to explode at the end.
And you just want to bring in a play 1 Death Shadow and protect it and win.
Yeah, see, Nate could also speak to this, because he was working on a Sultai version of Death Shadow as well. This red green is worth it instead of Throne of Gath in the form of a Braid Abrupt Decay. Thanks for insight. I think he's being facetious. Jesse, I think you're being facetious, but I can't tell.
No, Jesse's being honest. MG's.
Berserk and Sylvan Library are nice, and those are both cards that Corey was playing alongside Abrupt Decay and Assassin's Trophy.
And it can work.
He said that he did not like it as much as just.
But they can just be dead cards at times, and you want cards that are alive, that are always doing something.
Yeah. You want your cards to be as situational as possible, and that's kind of what Blue Black Death Shadow, the blue black version does.
All right, Corey leads on a fetch land into a plains, which is a little curious.
Stockton's like, that's dumb.
Yep. And Stockton's going to shock,
of course,
with Watery Grave art number 4.
That's the newest. That's the Guilds of Ravnica Watery Grave.
It's kind of ridiculous to think, isn't it? That there's 4 different arts for Watery Graves.
You know what the greatest thing in Legacy to do is to get your Delver of Secrets, Swords to Plowshares, when your opponent played Fetchland Plains. I have a Swords to Plowshares in my hand. Play something on turn 1.
Great, I have
that's
a daze.
Basically what Corey said.
Yeah.
Was play something on turn 1 because I have a Swords to Plowshares.
Which is where a daze comes in.
Yep.
It did the thing. Stockton won't be able to brainstorm and force flip his Delver. He's going to have to try and
He'll
blind flip here.
It's Stockton.
Oh, Stockton.
He's almost as
blind
lucky
flipper.
as I am.
I saw Stockton not flip Delvers like 4 times today.
Yeah, seriously. Telegraph incoming.
He again successfully did not flip Delver. This is a draw phase AK.
Okay.
Accumulated. He's accumulating the knowledge. It's just knowledge at this point. But every knowledge that you
it's N
play,
plus 1.
You start to accumulate them.
he's doing a series where of from n to n, or n equals 0 to n equals 4.
Correct.
In cards that are drawn.
And if he gets to n equals 7, he
Shocks.
wins.
Yeah, seriously. Or 6 or whatever.
Haha! Attack for 1. Take that.
Now I'm gonna play this here, Ponder. Solid magic card. I think. I mean, yeah.
Did you know that a Delver Secrets is only a 1/1? But on the flip side, it's a 3/2 flyer.
And when it becomes an insectile aberration. Maybe that's just an aberration of your imagination.
Oh.
I don't see it right now.
It's a secret.
Is it secret? It's got a secret. Is he Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto?
Okay. Ponder shuffling.
Ponder Shuffle.
Well, thanks for joining us for some Tuesday Night Magic, everybody that's hanging out. Legacy is fun to watch, and we enjoy doing it.
I enjoy casting Legacy.
We even sometimes commentate on the actual
Yeah,
gameplay.
sometimes we actually commentate on the gameplay too. Like most of the time, we're talking about you're making bad and sometimes very accurate puns.
We haven't seen one plateau today. I'm not flattered at all.
That pun will never, literally never come up in our store. I don't think
Probably
I've
not.
ever seen anyone play Plateau.
I've seen a plateau once.
I guess I have seen a couple of people play Plateau. I've bought Plateaus from people who have played Plateaus. I've sold Plateaus to people who play
Unlimited
Plateaus.
amounts of them, in fact.
You know, of all the dual lands, the only dual lands I've ever never owned. Guess
Ooh.
which two? Two.
Okay. You've probably never owned
On the flip side, you're very punny tonight.
Savannah
Scarab-faced baby.
and maybe a Scrubland.
I own Scrublands
Oh,
because of Esper.
that's right.
Esper Bomberman.
So Savannah,
Savannah, I
and,
do not own.
and a Taiga.
I have never owned a Taiga
Ah.
or a Savannah.
How is Burn in the format right now? Burn is about the same as it's always been in the format.
I own an unlimited plateau, Nate. I own one.
Nate, we were talking about plateaus because if your opponent plays one, they're actually trying to give you a really nice compliment because they're the highest form of flattery. It didn't get better.
Burn is mediocre because of the amount of basic lands that people are starting to play. And the format's kind of sped up in a lot of ways. I think that Captain Cuse, he got it. He did it.
Ready. He was ready for it.
Yep. But it's fine. Now I have to sing "Eye of the Tiger." No, I've never owned a Taiga, so I can't sing "Eye of the Tiger." King of the fight. Out. Something rivals. Vixalot. I don't know. Okay. Corey is writing down what Stockton has in his hand.
Because surgical extraction is actually a peak.
Yeah.
It's a side effect. It's a bonus.
Yeah, if you play MTGO and you surgical and you don't copy what they have in their hand, you don't get it in the revealed zone because it's not technically
That's
revealed.
dumb.
Yeah, but if you Thoughtseize them, it is revealed.
That's dumb.
And so I stopped playing cards that didn't reveal the cards.
Because it's too much work to
in
snap.
Food Chain, because Food Chain's the only deck.
Right, well,
Yeah.
right. It's actually the only because you're just a learn player with not
AK
enough time.
Oh, I'm an Learn player with not enough time.
Yeah.
Is that how it is?
It will in Arena.
What?
We don't know that because we don't have any cards that do what surgical extraction does. They all reveal, right?
Yeah,
I actually don't know.
most of the cards say the opponent reveals instead of look at.
Yeah.
And so there's a difference between revealing, like it has to be in the revealed zone.
Ooh, did you see how that brainstorm magically appeared over the table like that? I like how Stockton just this one.
he slid over his cards and
He's
pulled it out.
Doing card tricks with his magic cards.
Doing magic with his cards. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how that works. How looking at and revealing are different things.
It is interesting how Arena just shows the card, right?
Yeah.
If you have known information, they just make it known information.
Stockton is
nice
a
and
wizard
clean.
fugitive.
I like it. I'm not sure what this Delver is doing. Is it tapped? Is it untapped? Is it attacking? Is it?
This
is
like
it,
45-degree angle
what
is
is
very.
happening?
And then you've got the water graves at like an 80-degree angle,
is
not
this-
quite 90.
If I tilt my head like this, does this help everybody watching at home? Is this?
I'm gonna match the
disconcerting?
tilt of your head so that
Whoa.
we can mess with everyone. Reveal and searching are
Goodness.
different. Their entire library is searched, but not recorded. Yeah, exactly.
Swords to plowshares on the thing that flipped over. The insect is now a farmer, or soon to be a farmer.
Jazz 795, thank you for the follow.
Wow, we
G-Joe.
tilted our heads and we got a follow.
There we go.
That's
Direct
impressive.
correlation. So,
Yep, and it even went in the cup. Look at that! Wow.
Blammo! Look at that. Follower of the century.
If you guys want, there's this little cup thing below us. You can throw bits in it and see if they land.
Bits,
And
subscriptions, follows.
that's a thing you can do if
all the things.
you want to. I guess I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you do it a lot.
I do. I have the bits and I just throw them at the cup.
Insects do make crops.
Ah,
Some
wait.
insects,
Isn't that
unless it's locusts.
exactly the opposite? Don't we have like an entire category of pesticides that prevent that exact thing from happening?
Yeah. Well, Stockton did a very good job of this wasteland getting rid of a tundra so that Corey can't play a Jace the Mind Sculptor this turn and get his flipped Delver secrets.
Boo! If you stop Jace from being played, then you're not story-centric enough. We talked about this ages ago. This is what Magic's all about now.
Being story centric.
Yep.
Bees are good at pollinating crops. They are, but they are being dyed by blight. They are being dyed.
They're being dyed. Wow. This is
They're
round
being
4
killed.
where we really articulate well.
My words and my thoughts in my brain too.
Look, you can do this thing where you oh my goodness. Take the bits.
Do the bits and
And
take
put
them
'em
in
in
the
the cup.
thing. Put it in the cup.
Sure. How many?
Bits in the cup.
This many.
Bits in the cup. I think I'll do the same thing and put the bits in the cup.
Oh.
Transform back to a wizard as soon as you bounce it. Just give this big insect a pat on the head and you'll have a wizard to tend your farm. Exactly.
Whoa, we got Captain QC talking about the flavor of what is happening in the game state. We were
Did you
in
get
trouble.
5 or 6 in?
I
think you got
don't
6.
even watch anymore. I just close my eyes and hope they all went in. Him to Turok.
Him to
I
Tupac.
love this card. I really kind of want them to print a card that's more...
So if I get you to alter it as 2 chains, can I have it call it Him to 2 chains instead of Him to Tupac?
Sure.
Hey, that was actually a pretty solid Him to Turok.
I actually just did an alter today where I stamped text for a new name,
Okay.
and I used an embosser
Okay.
to stamp gold foil onto the card. And it worked out pretty well.
What's the new name?
I can't actually divulge that until the card is... It's a gift for some reason.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I'll show it eventually on my site, I'm sure.
I am
But
very
they need
excited.
to be more inclusive in Magic, right? And so we need to have a her to Turok, right?
Her to Turok?
Yeah. Constantly hemming people need to start hurrying. I don't know. Is that just wrong? Hemming is okay, but hurrying is not. I'm not sure.
I've gotten 0 and so
2.
far 2. They almost bounced out.
2. See?
There we go.
You can do the thing. What? Why did we get PogChamps?
Because I did PogChamps.
Oh.
I can do whatever I want. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put some other things in there 'cause I can.
Because I'm an adult. So Back to Basics is a card, and it kind of harms Stockton just a little bit. He's got 2 basics in his deck. Is that right? Does he have one of each?
I think he might have one of each. Sometimes they only do.
Whoa! He goes and gets a watery grave here. That's brave. You got like none in the cup that time.
Jeez.
It was not a party. Guys, it's a lot of fun. You should try it. The Plinko thing, the bits, they go in. Sometimes they don't. Everybody has a good time. Wow, Watery Grave into a Brainstorm. I'm surprised that he didn't get a basic land there.
Yeah, me too. Doesn't seem like the strongest of plays.
Maybe he's just
The best part of waking up is
planning on-
getting back to
So
basics.
Days is a way to get around Back to Basics a little bit, right? He gets to bounce shock lands and then replay them later. And obviously they untap.
Wizards needs to get creative and make back to non-basics.
Back to non-basics. That's a good idea. All basic lands.
I mean, it's basically like playing choke.
Just do what they do normally and untap and tap like normal. And basic lands you can only play 4 of. That's what the enchantment would say?
Super.
Is that what it would say?
Yeah, I think so.
Makes sense. Back to non-basics.
I should have back to non-basics and all non-basics under the battlefield tapped.
That'd be dirty.
That'd be really dirty because you play back to non-basics and back to basics. Okay. Stockton is all in on the 4-tap Water Brigades.
Yep.
I hope you don't search the plowshares or terminus my Delver secrets.
Yep, don't kill it.
Never do that. Okay, fetch. And?
Is this a basic land? Oh gosh, no basics.
I don't know if he's playing any.
Basically, he's not, alright? Figured it out.
Where's our Bryce command? QC.
Nope, it's broken. Sorry.
Stasis.
Oh, that's what it's
like
called. Back to non-basics. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Stasis.
Yeah. Oh, you got it. All right, I got these cards that die to Terminus. There's your back to non-basics. Yep.
Yeah, attack for 3.
Attack with my 3/3 and my.
Don't attack with your 1/1.
Whoa.
Okay. That's aggressive. Bounce my shock to it. Replay it on tap. Oh wow. Stockton just got by exactly what I was talking about.
You maybe still have to play Days here.
Yeah, you definitely
untap, even though he's got a land. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you definitely have to here. Strong magics.
All right, Corey pays for the Days. Costs 1 to do that. The thing dies. The other thing goes and becomes a farmer because shadows are farmers. Well, you can't play another land this turn. Sorry, you already played your land for turn.
Yeah, I don't have this Death Shadow in this land in my hand. What are you talking about?
No. Shh. Quiet. Corey does a miracle test just to make sure his tundra does not untap.
Okay.
Because
get a 2/2.
Basics.
And I've got a 2/2. He can dance if he wants to.
Can shadows dance?
Yeah, they can. They can dance.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure they proved that in Peter Pan.
Oh. So I'm curious, what's going on in the art of Death Shadow?
Oh, jeez.
I looked at these for a while, right? Because I did the altar recently of Death Shadow. And so Death's Shadow.
And Stockton picks it up.
This is important. We really need to actually not care about this at all. Where are we doing on our other match? Okay, we're staying here. Okay, here it is, everybody. You've all seen this art, right? Here's this dude, right? But Death's Shadow is an avatar. So, is the dude Death? And that's his avatar? That's his shadow. Or is Death a thing, and Death's avatar is behind the dude, and he's shadowing the dude?
So maybe you're looking at him from the perspective of Death, and the shadow is behind him.
But who's the guy?
You're Death. The guy's just some dude.
It's just a dude. And if you're Death's Shadow, then your guy makes the same hand movements, like the arms thing. I'm gonna do the big arms thing. I'm not sure. The dude's shadow is the avatar. But is it his shadow? Or is it Death, as in like capital D, his shadow?
And is the dude Death?
He's just an unlucky dude about to get eaten. I don't know.
He's getting his brain sucked out by that like Cthulhu thing.
Yeah,
that's up there.
It's definitely a Cthulhu thing. I don't know. I was looking at the art and I wasn't sure what was going on. Maybe we should ask Howard next time I see him. Yeah.
Maybe I should ask Howard mine because I might see him in Portland.
Well, he lives here.
He does live here.
In the Bible, Death Shadow has its own valley.
The Valley of the Shadow of Death, correct.
All right, these guys are going to shuffle up.
Valley of the Shadow of Death. And we fear no evil.
We're on game 3 here, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's 1-1. Corey got one, and Stockton got the first one.
Shuffle cam!
Back to basics as a
I
card.
like it in the Bible. Dude.
Shuffle cam!
They need a land that's titled
The Valley of the Shadow of
the
Death.
Valley of the Shadow of Death. Yeah.
Is it going to be like the new Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale? Where you have to sacrifice instead of destroying so that
Ooh,
you don't play it with
that makes sense.
your turbo dubs?
Mm-hmm.
But will you fear no evil? Is that what it's going to say? I fear no evil, for thou art with me. Is that what the bottom of the card says? Stockton certainly feared no evil with that attack. Yeah.
Ah, not that thing. This thing. Go away, thing. Sorry. All right, here we go. Stockton on the play. Corey on the draw. Game 3, round 4. Tuesday Night Legacy. Ready, set, go.
Ready, steady.
We need a clean version of Delta.
What do you mean?
One that's not polluted. Bad. Bad. Just gets islands. No swamps.
So when are we gonna get the underground lake? Because we've got underground river and underground sea. It's like we need underground pond, underground lake, underground.
Those are all things we do need. Instead, we have watery grave,
Yeah, exactly.
which like is just a cemetery in the rain, really. I don't know.
Trying to come up with a good pun for a cemetery in the rain. Would you call that water murky?
Nope. Not sure. Nope. Brainstorm. Storming the brains. With these ones.
If the Valley of the Shadow of Death is a new tabernacle, it's enter the battlefield to set your life total to 13.
Ooh.
That would be interesting.
Huh. Okay.
I'd like to see more cards like this.
Brainstorm?
Like Death Shadow that kind of have this mechanic.
Yeah. That'd be okay.
Maybe it's like, I don't know, the CMC gets decreased, or like there's a mechanic where the CMC of the card gets decreased
Nope.
by your life.
CMC getting decreased is bad for Magic. Every broken mechanic ever is CMC gets decreased. How do we make an interesting new mechanic where the CMC gets decreased? Oh, that's broken.
Oops. We didn't go.
Probably should have done anything other than that.
Delve, convoke, return something from the battlefield to your hand.
More like pirate terminology.
Watery grave.
Arg. Send you to a watery grave, because they're really creative about how if you sunk a ship, you die and it'd be watery.
Phyrexian mana. Free stuff is always bad. I didn't say free. Alternate costs are also pretty bad. I understand. Yeah. I'm saying
all of those are bad. Nope. We're not doing any of them. Obviously, paying life for things, bad. It just facilitates Death Shadow. Can't do that anymore.
Well, where our Death Shadow player is already at 10, and that's what turn 3.
Life is a resource now. Is just ruining Magic.
Life has always been a resource in Magic. Channel Fireball, first set of Magic.
That was cheating.
Is one of the new PCG changes is that all employees wear a large pirate hat while on the clock? Not yet. Not yet. It's not, but maybe.
Whew, not yet. Liliana of the Last Hope. Stockton is using his Last Hope as his first play. So dumb. Sorry, everybody.
Bryce is getting there.
Sometimes I think it'd be fun to do an entire stream where we do like play-by-play as if we were sports announcers. And the Flooded Strand gets tapped. Corey grabs his deck. He looks for a land. He finds it's a Plains. Everybody's surprised. The Plains comes into play untapped, and he shuffles. It's just there's too much downtime.
And you know, Bryce,
you can't do it. There's just too many like filling times.
Yeah.
Did you know that planes?
Has this statistic and this and this and this and its price on MPGO is this right now? And you're like,
just a constant stream of words.
oh my goodness, I could not do that. That would not be enjoyable to me.
But the reason he got the planes over a Tundra, I think, right here is so they can be playing back to basics next turn.
Yeah.
Which is going to make Stockton a sad boy.
It's true. It's not that different from calling baseball. If you listen to baseball on the radio, it's like, did the radio go dead? Is there's silence?
You can kind of hear like crowd noise.
There's still and the 3-2 pitch. Whoa! What were we doing for the last 30 seconds of our lives?
It can't be his last hope. Can we call Stockton and to talk some sense into him? We played Liliana on the first hope.
Because he needs more Star Wars in their life. Because, yeah. No, it's not his only hope. It's his first hope. Oh, it's a new hope.
Liliana, a new hope.
That'd be awesome.
That's what the
next Planeswalker.
Yeah, the next Liliana Planeswalker. Liliana, Return of the Planeswalker.
I see what you're doing here. Revenge of the... I don't know. A Revenge of the Slith.
Ooh, we could do slow-mo replay. We need a replay board where we could like map out which card went where. Okay, this card, and then this card, and this card over here countered this card. That's a great idea.
That would actually be, if it weren't just so intensive for how like little you get out of it.
We just need a touchscreen monitor with a pen and a tablet.
And we have like the little red, we're drawing like red lines, and we're like, okay, and this isn't actually the first down line. It's just an indication of. This isn't actually.
Remember, the yellow line in the middle of the screen is just an approximation.
No, just no.
Hey. Bay Area Eternal comes in. First thing they say.
Got him.
Exclamation point price.
Revenge of the Pith. Okay, maybe. That might do it.
Thanks, Bay Area. There's a ponder. Stockton's gonna do the thing.
Bay Area Eternal. Are there still slots at the 3K? Because I'm still thinking about going. Potentially. I hope it's not full. Green zone. And now we have a Flusterstorm.
And then we have to map out the storm. Alright, this Flusterstorm goes here. This one goes here. This one, all of these ones go here. He's going to pay for this one.
And we're playing this...
Here's a 1-mana 5/5.
That's pretty good.
It's a Urmagur Gangler.
Gurmafag, or Tassamag the Gurmafanger.
Yeah.
Tassamag the Gurmafanger. Wait, someone still plays Shadow? Yeah, Stockton plays Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
He's a modern player.
He likes Peter Pan.
And he never wants to grow up.
Yep.
He didn't get the memo of the deck. No, he actually got the memo. We've told him several times, but he's actually pretty good with the deck. And our metagame is not like weak to it, but it's playable in our metagame. When like not everyone's playing like Turbo Depths and Reanimator and Dredge and all that. Because then Blue Black Shadow's like, ah. So did Jeffrey from Toys R Us. But that didn't help either. You're right. Hey. This is a safe space for Stockton. QC.
Why?
What?
Why is Peter Pan always flying?
Why?
Because he never lands. That joke never gets old. It has a nice hook. Oh dear. Yep. That's what we get to do when we see Shadow decks. Because he's high. No. It's a good try though.
Because he's high all the time. Almost. He almost got there.
It never gets old. Oh man. Yeah, Captain QZ's picking up what I'm putting down. Wait a minute. Because I say, son, I say, oh man. What are we doing here? This is a flashback ponder. Because if one ponder wasn't enough.
What a reveal!
Squeaky.
Liliana the Last Hope kills Snapcaster Mages. Everybody knows that.
Oh my goodness, it does, and I did know that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, Liliana.
Dad Joke City Games. What? We should change the title. Where is the title? We need to change. How do I make this guy look like a dad joke?
You just know that he only says dad jokes. That's what you know.
That's true.
That Lily is a great place right now.
How?
Dude, Lily being on 6 and us not seeing a council's judgment is pretty silly, because then you just make 2-2s forever and ever.
Yeah, that's how you win.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
How do you know when a joke becomes a dad joke?
I remember Peter Pan and Agent to Robin Williams. It would have been fitting if he used a hook.
Oh dear.
That's a little sensitive.
You know when a joke becomes a dad joke when it becomes apparent.
Ah.
See, that's an actual dad joke right there.
Actually, in Utah, there was. Did you hear about what happened at BYU yesterday? Okay. Yeah. So suicide is once again in the news.
Fired. Yes. That means I'm winning. Did you know that's how that works?
Is that how it works?
Uh-huh.
Are you,
Yep.
You're
Look,
trying to see.
Did you see all the bits we just got for that joke? They came pouring in. Hold on one second. They're about to come pouring in. It takes too long to do this. The ultimate, yeah.
No, we just had a.
It is in name and in
There was
jokes.
just a girl at BYU who jumped in the building and tried to end it, and is now in critical condition. And that's yeah. So if any of you in chat are ever dealing with any of that, like, reach out to us at the very least.
When
reach
the
out
word comes
all the
to mind.
hotlines. Do the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, so I guess there's a some of the school districts are starting up a app that if you have any sort of thing you want to talk about, or if you know somebody, you can it's kind of like a emergency hotline through an app. Sounds like a really good idea.
That's awesome. I've seen a lot of them that you can get counseling and different things through apps, and I think that's really cool.
So this is like Ponder number 7, right? I lost count. It's ponderific.
It's a Ponderosa.
We've had a ponderous amount of them.
Are we pining for ponders?
We're pontificating now.
Now we're just alliterating.
Oh shoot!
On ponders.
Shoot! Darn it.
The penultimate powerful ponder predicts potential
something that starts with a P.
Potential
Yeah, that's
plays.
cool. I think it's a good idea.
Pretty sure this new app won't be used by obnoxious press to swap people.
No.
Hopefully no.
No.
I don't think that that's what's going to happen.
I don't think it's quite that same.
I think
type
it's
of thing.
I think it's more of so that school counselors can be
Yep.
getting involved in places where they're needed. I think that that's what it's for.
I thought that actually very first as well. I was like, oh great, here's another way that people can mess up other people's lives. But if it saves anybody,
It'll happen. Just wait. Captain
Then
Keys, you're
that's probably
you're
worth it.
probably not wrong hyperbolizing that negative things will come from this, because negative things come from literally everything that we do as human beings. But I'm sure that there will
not
be
ponder jokes. There's nothing negative that comes. I just thought of one thing. There's absolutely nobody's ever was like, I just ruined my day.
ponder joke. Ponder joke. Yeah, being able to reach out with anonymity is a big thing.
Yep.
Being able to say, "Hey, I'm going through something." Yeah, awesome. And yeah, you see it. You get to see it firsthand. As a TA, being able to work with students and like being able to have them come to me and be like, "Hey, this is like, I'm having things going on in my life, and like, I need your help." Like, that's an experience that's been helpful. Yeah, that is the sad thing. Is that so many great tools that we have are used for things that are not what we want.
Do we get to see Liliana, the first hope, ultimate? Oh, man.
Liliana, A New Hope, Ultimates.
The ultimate. What?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so why isn't there more planeswalkers in Ultimate Masters, so that when we have them ultimate, we could have an ultimate of an ultimate master planeswalker?
The entire so are you calling? Are you saying that Ultimate Masters ultimately was untimely in its unanimous lack of Liliana the Last Hope?
I don't know. I lost count of everything you just said. Your cab driver took
Ultimately
the tunnel.
untimely in its unanimous lack of
And
living out of the last
seems
coast.
surprised. Wait, your cab
Is that
driver
the
doesn't know where
ultimate
they're
question? Is it the penultimate? Are you pondering the penultimate pontification?
going? Nope, none of those things.
Oh, you're going downtown.
Ultimate. Is it the?
Took the tunnel that seemed surprised when we
Downtown.
ended up in Midtown. It's literally called the Midtown Tunnel.
Downtown.
Oh, you're going downtown. That's funny.
Those
Dude.
cat tokens are great.
Yes,
They're zombies,
they are excellent.
and they're thinking about brains.
They are thinking about brains.
Most of the cats and cat tokens are really pretty sweet.
Yeah. You know what? We actually have a Cats and Cantrips Liliana Ultimate token
Oh
that,
yeah.
that I'm gonna go get
Okay.
and put on screen.
Hey, look! It's a link to altars that I talked about earlier. If anybody is interested in looking at altars. Aren't cab drivers supposed to like take a huge amount of pride in their work and really know their business because their entire industry is being smothered by not crowdsourced, whatever the apps, Uber and such. It's Jace. Stockton is going to brainstorm in response. Oh, whoa. It's a Liliana Ultimate Emblem. When did this get made?
That was for the modern legacy or modern qualifier for Heroes League.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
We can't quite see the details on it, but it's a cat with a Liliana outfit on. And we have
And
a
purple hands.
So miracles can beat an emblem. It's happened. It's possible. It can chain together terminuses in such a way that it wins. I've seen it happen at.
The ramp to FDRs goes, geez, Nate, you're just not getting anywhere.
Where did we see it most recently? Was it an SCG Open?
It is a very futile Jace.
But
I want to say it was like an SCG Open or a Classic or something.
it's worth playing out to see if you can pull it off.
What is he pyroblasting?
Whatever that is. It's a Force
Force
of
of
Will
Will.
on the Jace that's getting pyroblasted.
Against the end, yeah.
Did you guys like how I looked around as if the glare would change?
As if you can change the camera angle
Ah!
by moving. Whenever I play Call of Duty, I do the same thing. Like when I'm like trying to like win a fight or something,
around
like,
a tree.
I like lean and stuff, like trying to dodge bullets.
Like in Mario
works,
Kart when
guys.
you're going on curves.
It works. Oh yeah, exactly. When you move with the thing,
That's totally how things work.
that's
video
how
games.
everything works.
Yep.
Let's be honest.
All right, counterbalance gets dazed.
Dazed.
Okay, well, why not?
Hey, it's magic.
Yeah, yep, that's what we do.
So many times
Especially-
people in my booth lean toward the player on camera, try and see their hand
We'll
better.
fix this glare, and then that won't be a problem anymore.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that's what it was. It makes sense, though. We can fix that.
What? Oh, it's the
But so, yeah.
Yeah.
And if not, we may need to do my
your sheet,
work.
your sheety business.
All right, so we've told dad jokes. I got to tell Peter Pan jokes because of Death Shadow, and we questioned the entire premise of the art on Death Shadow.
Yeah, we did.
We've seen zombie cats attacking
Yeah.
Corey. Oh nope, Jace.
Well, a mix.
Oh,
Two
a combination of attacks here. And
You see a Thoughtseize
we
coming
now
in.
know what the highest form of flattery is.
Plateau.
Yeah.
He's like looking at the AK. He's like, "Do I take the AK?" I mean, I think
Yeah.
so.
He can definitely stand to have one thing get countered and still win this match. So does Corey have a Terminus on top of his deck right now? With a hard cast Force of Will as backup. There it is! That's the Terminus that he put there, I think. He knew it was there.
Stockton's looking at this daze and he's like, Do I dare you to peach?
Okay, so that's step one. Step 2 is you need some sort of pressure in the form of a monk or something. Taking that accumulated knowledge really messed up Corey's plan, I think.
Are they in turns?
Or it's just a dice. Cycle Street Wraith. Shadow. Did you know that if you have more than one emblem, it becomes emblematic? To figure it out. That's a thing.
You're hurting my soul. You maxed out at 600 something. So at a modern 2K, I made so many zombie tokens off the emblem, I had to use a stack of lands the judge brought you.
Nice.
Oh, jeez. Stockton is not a fan of these Terminus is on top. These Termini. The Terminati.
They got terminated.
I believe in the Terminati.
There you go. Terminus. But your opponent had a worship, so he couldn't die.
Jeez.
That's great.
Yeah, where was your above decay?
That's when you just start writing on a card.
Were you a paperback writer?
The number of tokens. Delver of Secrets. He doesn't have Delve.
He does not have Delve.
He's a Delver.
Yes.
A Days was played for no reason.
I don't know why you wouldn't play it though. Like,
because Corey's tapped out, so it doesn't achieve anything.
I mean, what's he gonna do with the Days later? Like maybe pitch to a Force Will, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know.
The best ult Lily ever is Lily of the Veil.
Cost 1 like Gurmak. Oh jeez.
Accumulated knowledge.
Oh jeez.
See, like the Days would have been even better right here. Make him just pay 1 more mana at this point.
I mean, maybe.
Ooh.
Pithing Needle and Liliana. Okay.
It's a Pithing Needle.
Pithing Needle. Corey's like, sweet. I guess Stockton was laughing about Wasteland.
He does have Delve because he costs 1 like Gurmak? Oh.
I guess that's about the same thing.
He has Delve or he has something else because he has Delve. But it's a secret, so you don't know what it is. It's some ability. I don't know. It's on the other side. I think it's fine. It's a keyword. Delver jokes never get old, guys. I'm sorry.
Delver jokes always get old all the time.
They never do.
10 out of 10
They never do.
would be old again.
Here's a reanimate. We can reanimate these jokes and bring them right back.
Please no.
Oh, instead of a Death Shadow, it's a
guy that has Swamp Walk,
Wraith.
because that matters. It's a zombie.
It sells Delve Her. So this whole time we've been playing Hymn to Trox and Delve Hers.
I guess they're drawing? I don't know. Apparently they went to time.
Wait. Cards are being picked up.
Yeah, I think they went to time and he called time on them and they played a couple extra rounds and
Haha! And you didn't want him to play it out. We got to see that.
Teach you what? How can you delve a woman? I'm gonna gag order him on this.
Right? I kind of.
I'm sorry, Paragon City Games, nor its affiliates, nor its streamers or casters or anyone associated with will tell you how to delve a woman, because one, the connotations of that could probably be very not what.
It looks like a draw, but nobody's drawing anything.
I barely know her. It's like Academy Rector.
Wow, guys. That's what happens when it's round 4, and I'm here with Brian.
When you're here with Brian.
So, everybody in chat, we should have a stream on Friday. Are you going to be here? Who's going to be here on Friday?
I will not.
It's Kyra and somebody.
Kyra and Stockton.
Kyra and Stockton doing some modern. Stockton here playing Death Shadow, along with Kyra, who you guys probably know. We'll be showcasing some modern like they do on Fridays now.
Yep.
And I'll be back here next Tuesday for some more Legacy.
Yeah, and I'm sending us over to raid Cyrus CG so you can go watch him. Happens anytime you're in the booth.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Also, if you guys are local, we have this Saturday is a PPTQ, which is Ultimate Masters, right?
Yeah.
And that's a thing happening here in store on Saturday daytime.
Daytime, the 8th. Yep. Good time. You just got to that. Well, welcome.
Perfect.
Go and enjoy Cyrus CG. Have a great night, everyone.
And
He successfully got downtown.
yeah, finally. Not only in the midtown.
Nope.
Good night.